The heart of your teams. The heart of St. Louis. Valley Sports Midwest. The heart of the fan.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. A day game as the weekend series continues from Busch Stadium. It's the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. Welcome to the broadcast booth here at Busch Stadium. That's Brad Thompson. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes with us as well. Cardinals take a tight game one, 2-0, the final last night. Taking center stage here in game two, the pitching matchup.
Yeah, the pitching in game one was a good one with Palante and Castillo, but now with Adam Wainwright on the mound, a look at what he has done. Your American Family Insurance dream fearlessly through his first 11 starts in 2022, a 2.73 ERA. That is the fourth best in the career of Adam Wainwright.
We have heard so much about the young fireballer Hunter Green since he was drafted by the Reds, and we'll see him here at Busch.
78 strikeouts this season. That leads all MLB rookies. The stuff is electric. Triple digits, a wipeout slider, and that's where he's going to get his punch outs. And it really has been feast or famine. Either he dominates or he struggles. We'll see which one Hunter Green is today.
Hunter Green, Adam Wainwright, and back to Bashan, talking about Tyler O'Neill. A closer look at the Cardinals left fielder coming up on Valley Sports.
Including a home run, 3 RBI, and as we saw last night, that speed to the bases plays a huge factor as well. He also plays stellar defense in left, a multi-hit game in 3 of the last 4, lengthening that Cardinals lineup. And remember, he had 2 IL stints last year. He got red hot last season after his return from his last stint in May. Not saying, just saying. When we come back, we're going to take a trip around the league as there was an extra inning drama in the Bronx last night. Stay with us here on Valley Sports.
Statue, and then let's go watch some baseball, and that's happening here today. Reds and Cardinals, game number 2 of the 3-game set. At the back end of games for the Cardinals, the fire thrower, and that is Ryan Helsley.
You meet at the Musial, and you hope to see Ryan Helsley locking down a ball game late. 3rd in ERA, 2nd in WHIP, 1st in opponent batting average, and 3rd in K percentage. Helsley has been flat out dominant this year.
Been so much fun over the years. Waino, Yachty wins and starts together, and more history made today. Baseball coming up. Brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And Cardinal fans all over the country, really all over the world. And it's game number 2 between the Reds and the Cards. And a chance to take in a little history today. It is 85 degrees, a warm afternoon on this Saturday in the Gateway City. And with Jim Hayes, Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Adam Wainwright, Yadier Molina, career start number 316 as battery mates here today, tying Spahn and Crandall for the 2nd most all-time in the history of Major League Baseball.
There is something different about an Adam Wainwright start day, and you could feel it early on in this one. You saw them walking in from the bullpen together. The crowd goes wild. Only 8 off of Mickey Lolich and Bill Freehand for first place all time. These guys have been so much fun to watch over the years, and you can just feel the buzz in the crowd when Waino ends up taking the mound.
Well, the Cardinals begin the day in first place in the National League Central. Half game ahead of Milwaukee. 4th in the National League in run differential. They're plus 45, only behind the Padres, Mets, and Dodgers. And the last time that the Cardinals were in sole possession of first place was April 24th, before Waino and the Cardinals lost to the Reds 4-1 in Cincinnati. So back in first place. Keep it. Let's have a little fun today.
Well, Ollie Marmol talked about it a little bit after the ball game last night. Said, hey, I know it's still early, but this is where we want to be. We want teams chasing us. And let's let this chase begin. And who better to take the mound for your first place Cardinals than number 50, Adam Wainwright.
Races out to the mound, and away we go. His career at home against the Reds, 15 games, 12 starts. And surprisingly, he's 3-8 against the Reds here at home. And generally speaking, this has been a tough opponent for him in his long career.
It really is. It's the only team in the division that has had his numbers. The Hyundai pitch arsenal here for Adam Wainwright. You know what he's got. He'll sink it. He'll four-seam it. That curveball, Uncle Charlie's always there. The cutter for Adam Wainwright has been a very effective pitch over the last couple of years. Really good keeping left-handers honest, getting them off that fastball away. But Adam Wainwright is going to pitch backwards. He'll be surgical out there. And this guy always putting down the right fingers or pitch calm when they end up using that. As you see it right there on the left knee of Yadier Molina. But these two guys, they think along with each other. Well, kind of like a battery that's been together for nearly 2 decades.
Nick Senzel at the top of the Reds lineup. The center fielder for David Bell. Then Brandon Drury. He's popped 11 home runs. Tommy Pham, Joey Votto, Kyle Farmer, Matt Reynolds, the former Met, Colin Moran, the former Pirate, Albert Almora Jr., the former Cub, and then Chris Oakey, his first start in the big leagues. He made his major league debut last night late in the ball game. Another big crowd on a hot day here in St. Louis. Senzel making his way towards home plate. And away we go in game 2 of this series between the Reds and the Cards. Adam Wainwright loves to throw that curveball roughly 30% of the time. 4th highest usage in baseball. Also the 2nd slowest at 73 miles per hour. I love it. He's a pitcher.
He is a pitcher, and he'll run that thing in the 60s as well. And the beauty of that pitch is that he'll make his fastball look a lot harder than 88 to 91 when you're gearing up for a curveball.
And quickly, 0-2.
Just good pitching right there. Fastball away to start the day off. Then the cutter that starts in the same spot and dives down.
And the 0-2 pitch. He struck him out, and that's how we start game 2. 3 pitches and a called 3rd strike on the outside corner.
I'm not sure you could set a baseball in a more perfect spot than this sinker. 90 mile an hour. It's down, it's away. And home plate umpire Mike Ripperger, he rings him up.
And the batter will be Brandon Drury, 3rd baseman, hitting .272. Mentioned the 11 home runs, and he's driven in 30. 4 pitches, 4 strikes to start this game for Waino. On the heels of Andre Palante, very good last night, and the rest of the bullpen as well. The 0-1 pitch by Adam. Andre Palante last night setting the tone, and Ollie Marmol telling us that he's going to stay in that rotation for a while. 5 1/3, only 4 hits, struck out 4, walked 2.
He looked so good. I think he's enjoying himself as a starter so far. You see that little smile on his face, like, this rest day is pretty nice, boys.
Especially when you get the win and you know you come to the ballpark and it's a day to relax, stretch out, maybe weight lift a little bit, certainly a walk or a run. And that misses inside, but what a great feeling that is.
It really is, and you can guarantee that Andre Palante put in his work today when he got to the ballpark. And he's been a starter before, 31 starts in the minor leagues, and just earned that opportunity and took advantage of every step along the way.
And a count of 3 balls and 1 strike on Brandon Drury. The next popped up left side, went with the breaking ball. Arenado gives it a look, and it's out of play. The ability to throw the breaking ball And not only in, out, up, down, but at any time in the count. And that's what Waino can do.
When you and I were talking about this before the game as well, being able to do so at different speeds. You talk about the low 70s breaking ball, throw one in at 60, 80, mixes in the cutter also. You just never get comfortable in the box.
Outside corner and doesn't get the call. And it's a 1-out walk as Waino looks back at the home plate umpire, Mark Rippiger. Tyler O'Neill in left. There's Harrison Bader, the Gold Glover in center. Dylan Carlson in right. Around the horn, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Arenado, Edman, Donovan, Goldie on the infield, Molina behind the plate. And in steps Tommy Pham. Hitting .242. The 7 home runs and 22 runs batted in. That shocked you last night when I said that Tommy now has been in Major League Baseball for 9 years?
Yeah, it's impressive. It really does seem like it was yesterday that he ended up coming up, spent a long time in the minor leagues, grinded it out to get here, and bounced around a little bit the last couple of years, but is fiery and competitive as ever, and he's got some good numbers against Adam.
4 for 7 with the home run and the 1-0 pitch. Pham hits a high fly ball into center. Backing up Harrison Bader. Makes the catch, gets himself in a position to throw, and a strike to the bag at second base. You never take anything for granted, and that's why Bader is a Gold Glover, and it's things like that that stand out.
He gets behind every baseball. Kids, that's a key. He sees the jump over there by Brandon Drury that he was thinking about it as that ball was on the track. If you ease into that one, camp under it, and just catch it and try to throw it in flat-footed, Drury might try to take that base on you. Those little things matter so much.
There's Joey Votto. .213 the average. Odd to see the average that low. He's got 5 home runs, 22 runs batted in, and Waino flips in a breaking ball. The little things mattered last night. Cardinals scored 2 of their runs in the first, in part to the defensive miscues by Cincinnati. Throw behind Arenado, short hop throw to Votto on a ground ball to third. And the Cardinals scored the 2 runs, and those were the only 2 in the game.
Yeah, Luis Castillo really settled in after that one. Credit Andre Palante for matching him throughout that. And the Cardinals bullpen, it set up very well for them with Cabrera, Gio, and then shutting the door with Ryan Helsley.
So David Bell and the Reds come in just 8-21 on the road. And the next to Votto upstairs. Similar pitch last night that you pointed out, Brad. That's over the plate, but it's high, and boy, he sells it as if it's at his chin.
He really does. He's not looking for anything in there. It looks like it's way in.
Long look by Adam Wainwright using pitch comm with Yachty as Yachty goes to the knee, dials it up. Delivered to Waino, delivering the 2-1, and it's now 2-2. Would pitch comm have slowed you up potentially as fast as you worked?
It very well could have, because I like to get the ball, walk right back up the mound, peer in for the sign, and do it. But I do think that that's part of your relationship with the catcher as well. You know how fast somebody wants to work. They get right back in there, get the sign to you as quickly as possible. But there are some guys that, no, you're right, it might end up slowing them down briefly until they get used to it.
Inside. So Waino has a strikeout and a walk in this inning. 2,441 innings pitched, 2,052 strikeouts in his career. As the crowd gets behind Waino here in the top of the first. And a matchup of 2 of the game's best over the last couple of decades, Waino and Votto. Runner off with the pitch. The 3-2 curveball, and he struck him out. Freezes Joey Votto. And 2 strikeouts looking for Adam Wainwright in the top of the first. Oh, Uncle Charlie. Beautiful. The slugger, Nolan Gorman, serving as the DH. Goldie, Arenado, O'Neill, Donovan, Dylan Carlson, Yadier Molina, and Harrison Bader. We were talking before the game. We're looking forward to seeing in person Hunter Green. as a lot has been made of this young man. He's got a big arm and a huge future. And the first pitch to Tommy Edman, taken for his strike at 97.
The Hyundai pitch arsenal here for Hunter Greene. A lot of four-seam fastballs in the slider. The slider's his wipeout strikeout pitch. That's
Ball with the strike.
Such a fast arm. Yeah, it looks like easy cheese right there by Greene.
He has struggled on the road. 7 starts, 34 innings, 23 earned. He's 1-5 with an ERA over 6. The 1-1. Little movement there, so much so is kind of tough to catch for Chris Oakey, his first ever major league start behind the plate. .155 fastballs at 100 miles per hour or better this season for Greene. That's most in baseball. The 1-2. Your Toyota key to the game.
Well, it is about the fastball for Greene. Hunt the heat. That's the pitch you want to hit. Opposition hitting .352 against his fastball. And the Cardinals hit that pitch well. It's a good take right there with the slider under the zone by Tommy Edman. Cardinals hit the fastball well, especially velocity. The Cardinals are the best team in baseball against 95 and above. Sets up pretty well here.
And the 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. Well, you talked about the slider to finish off hitters. 44 strikeouts on that slider, second most in all of baseball. And it is a wipeout pitch. We saw some of the video before the game that we were looking at. It's a heck of a pitch. This guy's really good.
Well, you have to gear up for 100.
3-2 hit down the right field line, but yanked foul. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You're geared up to hit 100. You better be. And then all of a sudden, bam, he's got that slider that just drops off the table. And sometimes it's more of a lateral movement with it, but a little downward action, and then other times it's straight down.
Yeah, recently he's been moving that pitch on 2 planes, which I think makes tougher. There's that slider again into Tommy Edman. Look at Tommy right off the bat. You're making Hunter Greene work in this at bat.
We talked about it. The Reds' Achilles heel, one of them, is their bullpen, and came into this series in their last 7 games with an ERA close to 9. And this would be the 9th pitch of the at bat for Tommy Edman. And a strikeout, and the first of the afternoon for Hunter Greene. Reds defensively, Pham in left, Senzel in center, Albert Almora Jr. in right. Really good defensive player. Saw him many years with the Chicago Cubs. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Drury, Farmer, Reynolds, Moran along the infield, and Oakey is behind the plate. Here's Nolan Gorman, and a shift on the right side. A swing and a miss. The 0-1 pitch. You get the feeling if he can square up a fastball, it may go 500 feet.
Easily.
Yes.
Easily. We've already seen the pop that Gorman has, and I do think that him revamping that swing a little bit, keeping that front foot down, is going to help him catch up to the velocity of Greene.
There's that slider to the back leg of a left-handed batter, and also the appeal called a strike. Tom Hallion down there at third base. Home plate umpire last night. And the 1-2. Another check swing did not go. Well, we were talking to Ollie before the game in his office, and he made he's very, very much to the point and direct with his players, the media, and when he's asked a question. The 2-2. Strikeout, and he was asked about the umpiring at the end of the game yesterday, and he said, look, enough was enough in terms of the mask coming off. He said that was what really got him, and then some of the words exchanged back and forth with Tom Hallion, and I found this incredibly interesting. He said, look, I'm accountable, players are accountable, everyone in this game is accountable. So he was missing some calls. There was frustration on both sides, and you move on to game 2.
I do think that is something maybe that as baseball continues to do new things, we finally seen umpires being mic'd up now, and that made sense to talk to you about the calls. What if we see umpires start to get interviewed after the game and have a camera there for different things? Just helps with context, doesn't it?
I have felt for many, many years that should be done. If we're asking a player and a reliever, and
it's not fun, Dan.
No, and he's just given up a home run to lose the game, and you're expected to hear from that player, or they make an error, cost you the game. So we're asking them to do it, and we're asking the managers to talk about losses or bad decisions or decisions that backfire. But yet, if a game comes down to a call, and then you have to send a pool reporter down there to feed the questions, Goldie pulls it foul. I'm with you. I don't think you have to do it every night, but when you have situations like maybe last night, but other really egregious calls potentially, it should be talked about.
No, you know what I think too? I think it actually could help the umpires. It humanizes them a little bit. Get them a chance to talk to the media. Hey, this is what I saw, or I messed that one up, or I believe it. Either way, it humanizes people.
Here's a 1-2. And he strikes out the side here in the first inning. He gets Edman, Gorman, and Goldie. Kyle Farmer leads it off when we come back. Check in with Jim.
What do you got, Cat?
Adam Wainwright is making his 12th start of the season at age 40. Waino is still doing Waino things. Just ask Joey Votto. Ollie Marmol said he thinks he understands why. Ollie said, is he throwing 94? No. Does he need to? No. He has different ways of getting you out. His game plan is just simply better than yours. His command still plays. He could still be doing this when he's 70. Who knows? Danny, Ollie says, yes, velocity is important, but not for Waino.
And Waino just has the incredible ability to not have the overpowering stuff that he used to have, so mixes up speeds, location, shape of the pitches. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. And all these hitters seem to be off balance. It's amazing.
It is, and velocity is something, but so is perceived velocity, and that's what we talk about setting up pitches.
Donovan tried to spin with the slide and come up and hop and make that play, and that'll be a base hit for Kyle Farmer, the first hit in this game. Tough chance for Brendan Donovan.
Yeah, it was going to have to be a really good play by him. We've seen Tommy Edman be able to range and make that play, but it is not an easy one here. And if you're Adam Wainwright, you say, all right, well, let me just get another one of those ground balls. We'll end up turning 2 here. But I like what Ollie is saying about his game plan is just better than yours. And the thing is about the game plan, everybody can have a good game plan. Can you execute it? That man can. Adam Wainwright can have his game plan and be able to make those pitches.
It's a great contrast of styles here today. And this is what makes baseball such a beautiful sport, where you have on one side Hunter Green, who is the young stud in this game. He's throwing at 100 miles per hour. Big slider. And you got Waino. And you get double plays. The turn by Donovan. There's 2. You know, Waino, they only swing and miss on 15% of the time that they decide to go after a pitch.
Yep.
And yet his hard hit rate of just 30%, second lowest among any starter. So they're not getting hard contact against them.
That's the key, man. Miss the barrel. That's it. Everybody gets caught up in whiff percentage. You know, Adam can get his punch outs too. I think we saw it 2 games ago where he ends up punching out 10. What did he do the next game? Well, he went 7 innings, didn't punch out anybody. Like, there are just different ways to go about it. And strikeouts are a product of a good approach in throwing strikes, getting ahead of counts, and end up burying hitters when you get the chance. But that's not his goal. His goal is to get outs as quickly as possible.
27 of the 50 strikeouts, including the 2 today, have been looking. So you're talking about hitters that are really in between. And as you mentioned, you get the slow curveball, and then 88 looks like 100.
It does. And you know what's funny about a lot of those, and not all of them, obviously, but oftentimes when people get struck out looking, they're mad at the umpire and they're looking back, say, come on, where was that one? With Adam on the mound, he sets him up so well, they sit there and go, gosh darn it, how did he do that to me again? How did he spot up there again? I was not looking for that, or I wasn't looking there. Goes back to the game plan again, and the ability to actually implement it.
So 2-1 the count on Colin Moran. Showed the numbers last night. He has hit the Cardinals very well. That's hit out of play, and it's 2-2. Today is Wainwright's 18th start since turning 40, passing Jim Cott, fourth most all-time in Cardinals history. Grover Cleveland Alexander had 80 starts after turning the age of 40. That leads the franchise, but Waino's got the most strikeouts after turning 40, and that's the game you mentioned 2 starts ago. He had 10, and then Sunday Night Baseball, no strikeouts at Wrigley, and still you look up, he's in the 7th inning.
And who knows, he might end up catching Grover Cleveland Alexander.
And the 2-2. Lined into right, late break, and that'll drop in for a base hit. And a 2-out single for Colin Moran. Not sure if Dylan got a real good read off the bat with this. Would have been a tough play.
But definitely would have been a tough play. This is a cutter. Gets in on the hands here of Colin Moran. Just a sinking liner.
And a 2-out single. Albert Almora Jr.
I know Colin Moran, you look at the overall numbers and they're fine. Feels like he just always does something against St. Louis.
Really does.
They're just those guys.
So Goldie playing behind him. And a ground ball, broken bat. It is a foul ball. But still, you enjoy seeing what Nolan does.
He makes that throw look so easy. Anything but.
I really thought this was a fair ball.
Well, this is very similar to the ball that Tyler O'Neill hit last night down the line. It was Brandon Drury who ended up rushing the throw because he too thought it was foul. That's a great lesson right there, watching Nolan Arenado. Take nothing for granted. Finish the play. Who cares if it ends up being a foul ball? If that ball does in fact get called fair and you take your time, that's another runner on.
Well, the Cardinals are hopeful it won't be too long. We'll see Jack Flaherty. Cardinals wanted to see 60 pitches. They got 59 last night, and most importantly, it's the next day. How do you feel? And all reports coming out of the Cardinal clubhouse is that he feels great.
Well, we watched the video last night and it looked really good. Looked like vintage Jack.
And a curveball taken high by Almora. 1 ball and 1 strike. Friedel from the left side on their bench. Lopez a switch hitter, and Garcia and Aquino from the right side off the end of the bat. And that's strike 2. And Almora has to check the top of the bat, see if it was chipped. It was not, so he stays in there. Turns that front foot in by design, and they say that's to try to make him keep the front shoulder in too when he swings. And another strikeout, called 3rd strike, and that is 3 strikeouts for Waino in 2 innings. Across the street at Ballpark Village, inside Busch Stadium, for the best coverage in the game, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Hunter Green struck out the side in the 1st inning and did so in impressive fashion as he got through Tommy Edman, Nolan Gorman, Paul Goldschmidt, and here is Nolan Arenado. Get the feeling, Brad, that in what has been a very disappointing start to the Red season, this young man is on the mound. This is must-see TV.
It is. It is. And as a fan, this is a guy that you know that you are going to build around.
As Arenado hits it fair past the diving Drury. On his way to second base, Pham had a little bit of an issue trying to get it out of that sidewall underneath, and that'll be a leadoff double and the Cardinals' first hit.
Hunter Green went with the slider to get strike 1, got the call just off the plate, busted him in with the fastball, and actually a really good pitch. It's in, and I think that Nolan just does a good job getting enough bat to this, getting it down the line. Nolan Arenado so good against the fastball. His hands are so good, and especially against pitches that are 95 or above. I mean, he's hitting 429 coming into action. That one 98 inside.
It's his first extra base hit since a home run hit against San Diego back on the 1st of this month. And now Tyler O'Neill. Fastball taken high. So it's the second time that Green has struck out the side in the first inning. Did that against Boston as well. 14th double for Nolan Arenado. He's at second base. And he's 5 back of the team leader, Paul Goldschmidt. He has 19 doubles.
I'm waiting for that month, Dan, that he and Nolan, those two are hot. Tyler O'Neill getting the mix. We saw it a little bit last year in September during the Cardinals' 17-game winning streak where everybody was clicking. This offense has a chance to be very dangerous when that gets rolling.
And the 1-1 pitch. A strike.
Well, Hunter Green's got some options here. He's got that slider in his pocket that you've seen a few of them. We've seen his fastball elevated for the 3 punch-outs he got in the first inning.
And the 1-2. Got him with that wipeout slider, so he is struck out for the 5. MLB.TV is now $114.99. Watch all out-of-market regular season games live or on demand, plus MLB Big Inning, blackout, and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Here's Brendan Donovan. We were in the office of Ali Marmol before the game today, and he is just raving about Brendan Donovan. And he said, we really shouldn't be all that surprised. He said, including myself, because you see the numbers in the minor leagues. The fact he's a good 2-strike hitter. And then what he's done against lefties. He said, don't overlook that. And so we went back and looked at it. At Peoria, hit .299 lefty-lefty. He went to high A, hit .318. Last year, small sample size, and this year, but .421 against lefties. So it's going to be tough to get him out of the lineup. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, and they don't want to get him out of the lineup. They want to figure out a different place to put him every day. And when you have guys that have the flexibility like Donovan have, well, it allows you to get Nolan Arenado off his feet. It allows you to get Goldie off his feet. He can play both corners in the outfield, both spots up the middle. There's not a bad matchup for this guy.
And it's 2-2. Donovan at second base today with Tommy Edman at the shortstop position. The 2-2, and that is foul. Beautiful day here in downtown St. Louis. It is hot, and it's going to be hot next week here at the ballpark. The Pirates coming in town. We've got a 4-game series and a doubleheader sandwiched in. Donovan with 2 strikes, hitting .259 with 6 doubles, and is driven in 12. This is where he becomes just a nuisance for the opposition.
He's also hitting .350 with runners in scoring position. That big hit for the Cardinals never came last night. Fortunately, as we mentioned, the Reds helped you out with your offense early on with a couple of errors in the first inning to get you on the board. Big spot here.
The 2-2 fought off again by Donovan. I mean, that is just cheese in on your hands and finding a way to stay alive.
Yep, that's it. You got to figure it out. And it ends up being frustrating for the pitcher when you're throwing your best stuff. And at some point, you're going to miss. And that's the thing. Green has overpowering stuff, but he will miss over the middle.
Donovan pulls it foul. Tommy Edman had a 9-pitch at bat to start this game. Donovan, 8th pitch coming here, and the 2-2 taken high, and we'll have a 9th pitch of the plate appearance here for Brendan Donovan. Dylan Carlson on deck. Leadoff double by Arenado. The strikeout of O'Neill, and the 3-2 pitch. Donovan hits it the other way, slicing. It is foul. Pitch number 10 coming up of the AB.
So this is a situation too with Green. We know how good the fastball is. We've seen the slider. The evolution is the changeup. Like what, that's the next pitch to bring him to the next level. Only throws it about 5% of the time. Something different to look at.
And the 3-2. What an at bat again. Brendan Donovan. Runners at first and second. Brendan Donovan just finds a way. And a lot of times it's with a walk. He's got now 19 walks to 17 strikeouts, which is something you don't see in baseball of 2022, much less from a guy in his first couple of months of his big league career.
You got to throw it back a few decades for that to be a normal stat line. We've got so used to strikeouts and being okay with it. He does not seem okay with striking out.
So the 10-pitch at bat results in a walk, and now Dylan Carlson. Strike one. This is one of the guys too. You think about the big bats that we always mention, but if he can get going too, his second half last year was tremendous. The slider did not go.
Yeah, I believe that your keys to success offensively lie in your corners. We talked about this a little bit last night. I know what you're going to get out of Arenado. I know what you're going to get out of Goldie. Dylan Carlson, Tyler O'Neill, those are the next levels.
Ooh, he let it rip.
That's tough to catch up to. That's 98 in off the plate. Got to get started very early, and the problem is if you get started too early, here comes that slider.
The next, and Carlson just got a piece to stay alive. So here we are in the second inning. Hunter Green has gotten 4 outs, and this will be pitch number 40 coming up. If you're David Bell, I wonder just how careful he wants to be this season with this young man. That is a precious arm out there. As Carlson hits it just foul. And the point I was about to make is that sometimes you love to see young kids, to teach them, hey, we want you to think about being 6, 7, 8, 9 innings. Push them a little bit, but then there's also the element of I got to be careful, and we're not going anywhere this year.
Yeah, so I think through 162 games, you have the ability to build in both of those things. I think you find times to test him early on, and actually we've seen Hunter Green go deeper into ball games early in this season. He had back-to-back starts in May where he threw over 100 pitches. It was 101 game, 118 the next.
That's the game I'm referring to.
Yeah, there are times to push it, and then there will be times where he might have an extra inning left in the tank and you back off of it. Then you give him the extra day here and there. You do have to be careful.
And the 1-2 pitch. So a leadoff double, 14th of the season for Arenado. Strikeout of O'Neill. Donovan, 10-pitch at bat. After 2 strikes, he saw 6 pitches, fouled off 3 sliders and a fastball to earn the walk. And it's 2-2. Room on the left side. The next. Carlson hits a high fly ball to Tommy Pham in left field. He'll make the catch. And that is out number 2, and it brings in Yadier Molina. How about first pitch swinging base hit into right?
I love it. You know that Yadi is aggressive in these spots. You would think that Hunter Green and the Reds know that as well, but that doesn't mean you can't throw him a fastball. Yadi's hasn't hit the fastball extremely well this year. Now look at him to swing here.
And Yadi on the first pitch just missed it because he hits it a mile high into left. Under it, it's Tommy Pham, and he makes the catch. Cardinals strand 2. We're through 2, and there's no score. The teacher of the year, Missouri, James Young, Mr. Young, musical theater teacher at Johnson Wabash 6th grade center in Ferguson. And he is committed to developing both academic and life skills through arts education. Thank you, James Young, for pitching in. And enjoy the ball game today. It's Chris Oakey. The Nick Senzel. And Brandon Drury. Our buddy John Hewlett does it every time. I love to recognize it, but Oakey came into the game late last night and he said, making his major league debut. Chris Oakey, recognized even for the visitors, which is a class move and what is an enormous event in an individual's life, undoubtedly, to make it to the big leagues.
Well, I think that the fans here in St. Louis appreciate it as well. We see them cheer when good things happen for the opposition, and Oakey's probably saying, I didn't face anybody in AAA that had a curveball like that. But it is a special moment for him, for his family, everybody along the way. And look, he might get a little runway here with Stevenson being on the IL for quite some time now.
It's a big loss for them, both behind the plate and at the plate. 0-2 pitch. Another curveball, and doesn't get the call. Oakey was hitting .265 at AAA, hit for the cycle last week for the Louisville Bats. He was a two-time semifinalist for the Johnny Bench Award. Best catcher in college baseball. He was a catcher at Clemson and hits that out of play. It's been Joey Bart, Mike Zunino, Buster Posey won that award, Kurt Suzuki, some of the top major league catchers last handful of years won the Johnny Bench Award.
I think there was some that were surprised that Oakey was the one that got the call. They have a veteran option at AAA, Sandy Leone there.
And Oakey is hit by the pitch in his first major league at bat. So he had a strike called a ball against him that would have put him on the bench, and instead of having one out, nobody on, you've got nobody out and one on after being hit by the pitch.
That's got to be the best feeling hit by pitch he's ever had in his life right there. He's probably asking right there, you think Mr. Wainwright would sign that after this?
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool.
Why not? Guys do that.
Oh, for sure they do.
Yeah. There's Nick Senzel. And a grounder foul. He struck out on 3 pitches to start the game looking. He's on a 7-game hitting streak coming into play. 323 during the 7 games. You'll see our buddy Mark Walsh and Andy Boyer and all the guys down in the clubhouse racing back and forth with jerseys that are signed by Albert, Yachty, maybe a favorite player going to the Cincinnati side, and then vice versa. Players exchange those uniforms all the time. Popped up. Right field. Carlson with the catch in foul territory. Long way to go, and Dylan comes in to make the catch.
We were just talking a minute ago about the offensive impact that Dylan Carlson and Tyler O'Neill are going to have to this ball club. We haven't spent enough time talking about the defensive impact that these guys have when they're back. Got a Gold Glover in left, one in center, and a guy right here that's looking to earn his Gold Glove. Great jump on that one. And a ball right there could have easily dropped and isn't out here. You're one ground ball away from getting out of this inning.
Boy, he had such a long way to go, and you could see him right at the last moment racing in, kind of take a peek to see where Donovan was, and then realized he had to go get it. Here's Drury, walked his first time up. Shift on the left side. First pitch outside. Drury's grounded into 3 double plays. Cardinals turned a double play back in the 2nd inning. And the 1-0 lined out to left field. O'Neill won't get there. That'll go all the way to the wall. 2 hops. Oakey to third. He'll stop there. And it'll be a stand-up double for Drury with Tommy Pham coming up. Chevy pitch tracks.
Sinker ends up down and in, wants it away. I mean, this is another one right there. Adam was just trying to pinpoint that corner, and the movement takes it back to the middle. Drury makes him pay for it.
So in start number 316 for Yadi and Waino together. They have their work cut out for him here in the top of the third. In terms of overall appearances, 360 times Yadi's been behind the plate with Waino on the mound, and that pitch just off the plate for ball one. Reds went 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position last night. Pham flied to center field first time up. We mentioned very good numbers against Adam Wainwright. Oki at third, Drury at second, and Pham pulls it foul into the Reds dugout. Outfield is straight away. And the 1-1 pitch to Tommy Pham. Molina sets up outside. Curveball. He hung it, and that ball will get down. It'll be 2-0 Cincinnati. Tommy Pham on his way to second. Sliding in head first. He drives in a pair. He's driven in 24 this year. 2-0 Reds.
The big curveball by Adam Wainwright. Looked like Tommy Pham was sitting on that pitch. It's down for sure, under the zone even, but it ends up being middle. And Tommy does a good job going down and getting it. Yeah, Tommy Pham very susceptible away. You look at the 5.34 ERA against the Reds. That's career high versus any team out there for some reason or another. But you know this about Adam, he's going to keep you in this ball game.
Joey Votto 19 for 61. He does have 4 home runs, 6 doubles head to head against Adam Wainwright. Runner at second, Tommy Pham. 2-0 Cincinnati here in the top of the third. Shift on the right side for Votto. He singled to left. Couple of walks last night. Long look, 0-1 in on his hands. Good pitch, 0-2.
I really like that pitch. Tie him up inside with that cutter.
Waino gets better as he goes along. First time through a lineup, opposition hitting 277. Second time 196. Not necessarily the case though so far today.
No, and oftentimes those numbers are because you expect to see something the second time around that you saw the first time, and then he pitches you backwards.
And a strikeout of Votto, who is 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks. And that is strikeout number 4 for Adam Wainwright.
That swing right there by Joey Votto is exactly what we were talking about earlier in this game, as the pitch before sets this up. This is late, very late on 87 away. He's looking for something slower, look for the big breaking ball, maybe the cutter in, and the sinker away gets it.
So in 3-2 in the first inning, struck him out on a curveball, froze him, gets him there. 2 outs, runner at second, and there's strike 1.
Well, for Adam, leave Tommy Pham sitting out there at second base, get to work offensively. Couldn't get anything really going yesterday. It's been a slow start so far against Hunter Green, the talented young right-hander, but time to get to work.
And now an 0-1 pitch to Kyle Farmer. Long look by Waino. Donovan going towards the bag at second, and Adam will step away. And the 0-1 pitch from Wainwright on its way off the end of the bat. Looked to be a little cutter. And it's 0-2. 2 outs, runner at second. That's Tommy Pham, and an 0-2 pitch from Adam Wainwright. Lined out to left. 3-0 Reds. As Farmer drives in his 34th, and it comes on an 0-2 pitch. He's hung a few of those breaking balls this inning.
He has. The pitch, to me, is the right pitch with the curveball. Farmer chases that thing, but he chases it under the zone. With 2 strikes, he's looking for anything within the zone. He's just going to put a short swing on it, and that's what he does right here.
Now it's Reynolds grounded into a double play, his first time up. 2 outs, runner at first. And the crowd quiet now here at Busch Stadium. Ground ball softly hit to short. Force play at second. Reds pick up 3. Hit batter, 3 hits, and a 3-0 lead. Phillies here, July 8th. And those socks highlighting the historic Cardinals duo of Waino and Yachty. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Who would not want to wear those socks in a boardroom?
It's a real conversation piece.
Sure is.
If anybody's ever wondering, you put your feet up and, oh yeah, I'm a big Cardinal fan. Yachty, Waino, no big deal.
Yeah.
I'm a big sock guy, Dan.
I know you are. And what are you wearing today? What do you got? Guitars?
Yeah, electric guitars today.
Do you play the guitar?
I have one.
Do you play the guitar?
I can make some noise.
Can you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not good.
I didn't know this about you.
A couple of riffs here and there. That's about it. I know the beginning of a bunch of songs. I don't know a whole song.
You don't know a whole song?
I don't.
Got it. You like the band Hole, though? I mean,
they are good.
Yeah.
Know the beginning of one of those?
As Bader hits it out to right center. Drifting and making the catch, Senzel. So you can't play in the entirety of a tune?
No.
A whole song?
I can't.
Okay.
That's embarrassing.
Well, you should be able to if you have your own guitar.
I got a couple, too. I got an acoustic, an electric, got the big amp.
Do you really?
Yeah, I can rattle the basement.
I bet your wife loves that.
Yeah, she can't stand it.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I let the kids play now. She likes that. I tell them before I leave, like, you guys should play the electric guitar. Well, that's a good idea, Dad.
You go to work and she's
love you, babe.
It's better than a drum set.
Well, we're going to get one of those for Christmas, maybe.
Santa?
Of course. Maybe. I mean, if they're good.
What, if Santa brought something that wasn't good, you'd say this isn't good enough for me, Santa?
No, I'm talking about my children, as long as they're good.
Oh, okay.
They get you don't just get gifts. I mean, you got to earn them throughout the year. Santa's always watching, Dan. You know that.
That's right. Here's Tommy Edman. Struck out on a 9-pitch at bat first time up. Santa's been very good to me over the years. Very good.
I'm surprised.
It is a little shocking. What was that one year I did get a lump of coal?
Got you on the straight and narrow, though, didn't it?
Oh, did it ever.
Talking about a wake-up call.
That is not Santa, but I bet he is a Cardinal fan. Maybe just generally speaking, a baseball fan. It's got to be a little, for Santa, it's a little warm right now.
Oh, that's Mr. Crinkle.
You think so?
Yeah. Big
Crinkle.
fan, sir. Big fan.
Did you say Crinkle or Kringle?
Kringle.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Crinkle.
No.
That was like your neighbor.
No, it's Mr. Crinkle from 3 doors over.
Here's Nolan Gorman. The shift on the right side. Struck out his first time up. Green trying to put together a quick inning. He had 43 pitches through the first 2 with 30 strikes. And the 0-1 hit out of play, and it's 0-2.
Pitch not used a lot right there, but that was the straight changeup from Hunter Green. Gorman hits the fastball well, but I think you could still elevate it with it if you want to, if you're Green.
And the check swing he went. That'll be a strikeout, and number 5 through 3 innings for Hunter Green, and it's 3-0 Reds. The official car and truck of the Cardinals, and brought to you by Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. The banks of the Mississippi in downtown St. Louis. Adam Wainwright will get 7, 8, 9. Third inning, gave up the 3 hits and the 3 runs and a 3-run deficit. Spits out the gum, and you hope to see a pile of gum behind the mound because he's got a new piece every inning. Spits it out when he goes back to work. And right now that's 4 pieces behind the mound.
Well, we also talked about Adam Wainwright being one of the best pitchers in baseball at making adjustments. Adjustments pitch to pitch, batter to batter, inning to inning. A couple of pitches left up in the zone. Let's see what adjustments he makes here.
And Moran shoots it down into the left field corner on the first pitch. Rattles around and a leadoff double. And the base hit for Colin Moran. He's 2 for 2.
Colin Moran, as we talked about before, finds himself on the list of Cardinal killers. Fastball sinking away from him. He does a really nice job of letting this ball travel, goes the other way with it, keeps it fair.
I think number 1 in recent memory of Cardinal killers was Bud Norris when he pitched with Houston. Cardinals could not figure him out.
They had to sign him.
Bring him here. Can't beat him. Let's join him.
That's it. You have to.
He was unbelievable against the Cardinals.
Remember and the Pirates, talking about Colin Moran, they also had, was it Pedro Alvarez that seemed to kill the Cardinals? And like Pedro Alvarez would have been a Hall of Famer had he only played against the Cardinals. Seemed like he struggled against absolutely everyone else, though.
There's a 1-0 pitch. Pedro was a great player in college at Vanderbilt. Big power hitter, one of the, I think, top 5 choices in his draft class, and just destroyed at times Cardinal pitching. 2 balls, no strikes here on Albert Almora Jr. A lost start in today's game is a leadoff double and the bunt, or hitting it to the right side, advancing the runner from second to third. We'll see if Almora does that here. That's off the plate, and it's 3-0. You just don't see it very often.
To me, it's winning baseball to have that idea, especially if you're 8th, 9th in the lineup. You're not one of the big dogs. Make sure it's a productive at bat. Now 3-0, he's got a chance to find something he really wants to drive. That ain't it. But right now, I mean, if I'm Almora, I'm looking for that cutter from Waino away, and I'm looking to hit a ground ball to the right side to get that guy over. Like, that would be my thought process.
And the 3-1 pitch from Adam Wainwright. Ground ball. Runner stays put. Edman up with it, and the out. While we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
What's more convenient than over 100 helpful locations? How about one you can take with you? Wherever life's path leads you, we're just a tap away with Great Southern Mobile Banking.
9th place hitter Chris Oakey was hit 2-strike pitch in his first ever major league at bat. Waino has gone at least 5 in 10 of his 11 starts this year, with 4 1/3 at Milwaukee early April. The only time he did not. And the point that we talk about a lot is his in-game adjustment to stay in a ball game 6 or 7 innings, which he very well could do today.
It's a veteran guy, and it's also having the trust of your coaching staff. They know that he can make those adjustments. They know that when they ask him, hey, how are you? You can believe him. and you could look in his eyes and be like, all right, he's got a few more. By the way, that pitch to Almora, that was the exact pitch we were just talking about. It was the cutter. It was away. Instead of going with it, he pulls it. Runner stays at second base. Hopefully that ends up hurting them in this inning.
And a fly ball out to left, backing up Tyler O'Neill. Shy of the track, makes the catch.
There's your run right there if he hit a ground ball to the right side.
Maybe I'm getting old, but I just think that's baseball. That's good baseball to do it that way. And starts of 7 innings or more. Wainwright, 20 of those with Sandy Alcantara, who's been awesome again this year. Wheeler goes deep into games. Buehler as well. You know, going back to what we're talking about too, Brad, Cardinals had a leadoff double with Arenado. Did not advance him.
Yep.
Didn't score.
Well, especially as you're trying to get things firing offensively, you got to figure out ways to win games in the process. And there are accounts like we were talking about, 3-0, 3-1, fine. You know, go out there, find your pitch, look for something up in the zone that you can drive. But if you get in a disadvantage, you know, a pitcher's count, something where you know he's trying to finish you off, just ground ball. That's all you got to do. Easier said than done. I totally realize that, but the thought process has to be there.
And that is a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. So the top of the lineup, Nick Senzel, struck out on 3 pitches to start the game, looking and flied out in foul territory to Dylan Carlson. The 1-1 pitch to Senzel. On the ground, Tommy Edman to his left, and he'll make the play. The Reds have stranded 4, and coming up for St. Louis, Goldschmidt, Arenado, O'Neill. Green. Good fastball as he struck out the side in the first, had another one in the second, and number 5 in the third. He's as good as advertised.
He is. He's using that fastball up in the zone. Then he's using the slider down and in, specifically to those lefties, really tying them up inside. And his fastball, he's using it kind of around the zone. He's not really filling up the zone with that strike. So we talked about the key to the game was hunt the heater. Well, it's hard to hunt it if he's not throwing it for strikes. He's really going to that secondary pitch, that slider, as his pitch when he's needing something. There it is there.
And it's a ball and a strike on Paul Goldschmidt. Struck out first time up, trying to extend his on-base streak to 47 here today. And that is fouled back. So 46 consecutive games. It all began on April 22nd. And in these 46 games, 12 home runs, 46 runs batted in, and a .377 average. The 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Green selected second overall by the Reds in 2017. He was rated as the best overall prospect by Baseball America, best high school player in the draft, and went number 2. Royce Lewis, a shortstop, went number 1 overall by Minnesota. So 3-2 the count here on Goldie.
Well, Hunter Green was another one of those guys. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated as a teenager. You just knew that he was destined for something great, and we're getting a chance to see it pay off.
And that's fouled away by Goldschmidt. Again, one of the things you have to consider is trying to get into the bullpen of the Reds, and would assume that Alexis Diaz is available today. He's been very good for them. This would be pitch number 60, but overall they have struggled. And a 3-2 pitch, and Goldie hits a high fly ball to center. Nick Senzel with the catch and the first out. Goldie 0 for 2. Saturday, July 9th, Cardinals and Phillies. That day, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older receive a short-sleeved hooded pullover thanks to the Shane Company. Gray pullover features a neon bird on the bat. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Joe Girardi no longer the manager of the Phils, and all of a sudden they're playing much better baseball.
Boy, I don't believe that to have been Joe Girardi's fault by any means, but sometimes that does happen. Rob Thompson has taken over that ball club. They've found their stride a little bit. and way too talented of a club to play the way that they were.
On a hop to short off the bat of Arenado. Farmer makes the play, 2 outs. 2 away, and it's Tyler O'Neill. Too much talent. Schwarber. I mean, you've got Bryce Harper. You've got pretty good pitching. Now their bullpen has been suspect, and they've had a few injuries that have hurt them. They signed the former Red Nick Castellanos, so
yes.
they've got some big bats in that lineup.
Oh, there's expectations over there. The expectation is to be a playoff team, to battle for a championship in a very tough division, as the Mets started out the way that they have, and they've been without DeGrom, been without Scherzer here recently.
The Phillies already 9 games out in the East at 29-29. Inside again, 2 balls, no strikes. Atlanta's picked it up. They're 6.5 back of the Mets. Mets are 39-21. They lead the East. Cardinals lead by a half game over Milwaukee in the Central. And it's the Dodgers leading San Diego by a game out west. That's what should give you, some confidence. If you're the Cardinals, you look at that San Diego Padre club. That's a good team. 36-22 their record. Very good on the road, and you swept them here at Busch. 3-0, 3-1.
Oh, it's going to be a test. I know a lot of people look at that Rays series and say, well, you got swept by those guys. You can't beat good teams. To your point, we just beat some good teams. You're going to have times like that. You're going to run into a series where the offense is hard to come by. Very encouraged by the pitching you saw in that series. Dakota Hudson in the first game, Miles Michaelis in game 3.
Well, you look at that series, you were a strike away from winning game 1. Game 2 was a blowout, and then game 3, it's just you ran into one of the best, if not the best left-hander right now going. That's McClanahan of Tampa Bay, and Miles went pitch for pitch with him, had one mistake, the home run hit by Choi, and that was the game. The Cardinals actually hit into some really tough outs. They had 6 liners that were caught in that game. Those get down, different ball game. We're talking about a different series.
For sure. And then what do? Do you feel bad about yourself, or do you turn the page? I mean, that's the thing. You got to play that whole schedule. Tampa Bay beat you for 3. Now you got Cincinnati. Then you got Pittsburgh. Take advantage of your schedule.
And Donovan swinging the first pitch. Pulls it foul. Had a 10-pitch at bat in the second inning. It resulted in his 19th walk of the season. More walks than strikeouts this year for Brendan Donovan. Well, you'd like to think, too, with what you saw last night, that maybe the rotation can get settled, too. That's out of play with Palante now knowing he's going to be extended out as a starter. Looked very good.
The confidence in your top 3 of Wainwright, Michaelis, Hudson is high. And then what that young man did yesterday has got you thinking, okay, well, you got something here. Then Jack is on the comeback trail. Hopefully Steven Matz continues to progress. I know that's been slower than the club and Steven expected to this point, but it brings some sort of solitude to the situation. I mean, it's been up and down, and by no means are you through the forest. Got a doubleheader coming up again on Tuesday. Going to take all hands on deck.
Shift on the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brendan Donovan. I asked Ali, I said, Palante's an interesting guy. What's something that maybe would fans like to know about him? And he said he is a baseball rat. Now, you always hear that about like Brendan Donovan or a position player,
usually a hitter,
utility guy. He said Palante is a baseball rat, and he said if you watch during BP, always talking to position players, outfielders specifically when they're shagging, and it's always about baseball, situational baseball. What are you seeing? Here's what I'm seeing. He said he just loves the game. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
From 0-2 to 3-2. Runner goes, and it's tapped foul. Might have been a smart play by Donovan to kind of just hang around in the batter's box.
Stay there.
Yep. Your foot's in the box. Okay, you're good.
That's smart. And to your point, after starting out 0-2, just another one of those pain in the butt at bats for the opposition.
And a 3-2. O'Neill running inside corner, got him. 6 strikeouts for Hunter Green. Cardinals strand a runner, their third. We move to the 5th.
People, not just with his pitching, 5 1/3 scoreless last night, but also with his demeanor. He doesn't seem overwhelmed by his first taste of big league baseball. Andre told me this: I faced pressure before in high school and college, and I experienced failure before in some pressure situations, but those failures helped me grow and learn how to control my mind. I now understand that fear is something that you can control. I've learned to tune that out and focus on the basics. Danny Palante, very, very impressive young guy.
Absolutely. Loved your visit with him on the pregame show. Well done as always. As we move to the 5th, and it's Drury, and he looks at his strike. I've always said this, Brad, that this is a game of failure, and how you handle failure in many ways can dictate how you play in this game.
Oh, it can for sure. You're going to fail a lot more, especially hitters, than you succeed. You know, the old adage, you fail 7 times out of 10, you end up being a Hall of Famer hitting 300. But it is refreshing to hear that from Andre Palante, because the pressures that you're under in high school and college, well, they're different. The pressures in the minor leagues, they're different than they are here. Everything's so highly scrutinized. There's so many eyes on it, not only in the ballpark, but watching. But if you can keep that mindset of, I've got a job to do and this is the same job that I've been doing, it's pitching, it's executing, then you're going to be okay. And that's something that I expect out of a guy like Adam Wainwright on the mound. He knows that. But for a young guy, a rookie, to have that thought process, that's something special.
Waino struck out 2 in the first, 1 in the second, another in the third. He has struck out 4. 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. Drury, Pham, Votto here in the top of 5. And the 2-2 pitch inside again. The next, had him way out in front and fouled away in a souvenir here at Busch Stadium. Pitch counted an even 70 for Adam Wainwright. Getting a little extra rest coming into this start as well. You find that guys welcome that, or they just so much creatures of habit that they don't like it?
You know what? I think the guys are getting a lot better at just, if they get it, they can change their routine a little bit more. I think back in the day you'd see guys that are just so routine oriented. Now guys are a little bit more flexible with what they do and how they do it.
Hit up the middle, and there's Donovan. The shift. Waino lucky he didn't get a piece of it.
Saw that last night.
Cardinal Glennon, Cardinals teaming up to celebrate Matt Holliday's upcoming induction into the Cardinals Hall of Fame. It's a great deal. $7 tickets. Pirates are here beginning Monday. Full offer of the details, cardinals.com/7. Again, $7 tickets. Come on down to the ballpark.
Saw a very similar play last night, didn't we? Luis Castillo, ground ball up the middle. It was Dylan Carlson. He tried to catch it behind his back and just knocked it down. Dylan was able to get the base hit. That's something, it's hard to remember as a pitcher that there's still somebody standing behind you now with the shift.
Tommy Pham with a fly ball into right. Carlson there to make the catch. And he's 1 for 3 with a double and 2 runs batted in today. Joey Votto 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. The matchup tomorrow, and you talked about it a lot last night. Do not overlook the Reds with their starting pitching. We're seeing that firsthand here with Hunter Green. Castillo last night, very good. But tomorrow, a righty, Graham Ashcraft. He's 3-0 and a 1.14 ERA against Dakota Hudson. That should be a good one. And I'm way out in front. This is the game within the game when you're talking about Waino and Votto. First at bat, froze him on a 3-2 breaking ball, and then got him to swing tardy for strike 3 back in the third. And Votto's thinking, okay, what am I getting?
That's it. And talking about this with Adam and Votto, but certainly the man behind the plate has a lot to do with this too. These guys are so good at not falling into patterns and knowing how you set them up the previous time.
Lined and off the glove. Fair ball of Goldie, and that'll be a base hit for Votto. On an 0-2 pitch. Reds have had a lot of 2-strike base hits here today.
Yeah, just some pitches that Adam doesn't get exactly where he wants. Goldie almost flags this thing. Lays out full extension just off the edge of his glove. And it was a breaking ball down and in by Waino. He's looking to get in a little bit further. Caught more of the plate, looking to bounce it potentially.
And the batter will be Kyle Farmer. He's 2 for 2. Single to center to lead off the top of the second. Then in the third, on an 0-2 pitch, hung a breaking ball and a base hit to left to score Tommy Pham. So 2 outs, runner at first, short lead by Votto. Fastball and a strike. Cardinals in that game, or really I should say the series with the Pirates, have a doubleheader. And I wonder if they're thinking maybe Matthew Liberatore, give him a start against Pittsburgh, as he almost beat them in his major league debut. And that's a base hit, and Farmer is 3 for 3. Bring up that 27th man and not draw from your bullpen and tax them for the upcoming road trip.
Well, and that's how you're able to bring Matthew Liberatore back, is the 27th man. If you get optioned down, you have to stay down 15 days. If in fact it's a normal recall, but different rules for a doubleheader, certainly. So I like the idea.
Yeah, so many teams too were manipulating the 10-day IL. Guy would make a start, put him back down. He might miss a turn in rotation. He's back in.
I won't say they were manipulating it, but the Dodgers did a really good job a couple of years ago
of manipulating the roster,
of finagling, if you will.
Giants did it too.
That guy's hurt. Oh no, he's back, and he just threw a shutout.
Yeah.
Oh man. But you have to have depth to be able to pull that off too. You have to have enough guys that you can trust, and you build a roster. Like, if the rules are going to allow you to do certain things, shame on you if you can't take advantage of it.
2 outs, 2 on. Nothing at 2 the count. Reynolds has hit into a double play and grounded out into a force play in the third. 0 for 2. Cardinals in their half of the fifth will have Carlson, Molina, and Bader due up. The next off the plate. We've had 327 total plate appearances between these two teams, and neither side has hit a home run. And the one that is shocking to me is to go to Cincinnati late April. Cardinals won that series. Neither team hit a home run. Curveball, and he struck him out. That's 5 today for Waino. Farmer 3 for 3. Reds on top. Tomorrow afternoon. Wrap up the series with the Cards and the Reds. Dakota Hudson, who's been outstanding his last couple of starts, 2 of the best that we have seen as a Cardinal. And even in the minor leagues, there weren't starts like this from Dakota.
No, he looked so good the last couple of times out. We've talked a lot about his pace. He's been working faster, pounding the strike zone. Only 1 walk in each one of those games. Utilizing the defense behind him. I mean, that's what Dakota Hudson is.
Brad, he's gone from one of the slowest workers to one of the quickest now.
Well, I think it's helping him.
Yeah.
It seems like that pace is just allowing him to get into a rhythm. There are going to be times where you slow the game down. Runners get on base. You don't want to be working as quickly. But why give them more and more time to sit there and think about what you're going to do? Just go pound that sinker. Use the slider. His curveball is good. The whole arsenal is good for Dakota Hudson.
And the 1-1 pitch to Carlson. Fly to left, first time up. 2 strikes. Cardinals had a 5 home run day at Chicago last weekend. Since then, they've had 2 home runs, 257 plate appearances, 2 homers. They've run into some pretty good pitching.
So when you're going through a little bit of a drought like that, when it comes to the power, though, that's where manufacturing runs means even more.
Carlson with a high fly ball into right. Almora under it. And the catch made. While we have a moment, quick word from BJC.
Getting back to normal feels like so much more than just normal. BJC is committed to improving the health of our patients and community.
Yachty came up with runners at first and second, 2 outs in the second inning. Went after the first pitch and fly to left fielder Tommy Pham. Hunter Green with 1 hit allowed. He has walked 2 and struck out 6. He began his major league career with 22 earned in 26 innings. But they've talked about how he's really made a significant adjustment on the fly, and he's been much better.
Well, one of those adjustments you talked about a little bit earlier is his slider. He's tilted it a little bit differently. He pitches really well with his fastball up in the zone also. The fastball down gets hit for him. It's a pretty straight fastball. I don't know if he hides it incredibly well, but it's just got the zip on it. Up in the zone, it looks like you can hit it, but you can't.
How about his arm action and how he just whips it to the plate? It's just almost free and easy, and then boom, it's on the hitter.
Yeah, it's so fast. That one was 102 miles an hour right there. Just defensive swing by Yachty, just trying to foul it off. But it's such a quick arm, but it looks so easily repeatable for Hunter Green, and that's the important thing. You see a lot of pitchers with tons of moving parts, they get out of whack.
They put so much, the body, the lower half, top, everything, and to try to catch up to get that velocity, they do get out of whack a lot.
Well, he doesn't, at least in this ball game so far, hasn't appeared to sell out for velocity, like you know, just rear back and fire. He's still throwing 102, but he's under control.
And it's a count of 2-2 on Yadier Molina. Pitch count in the low 80s now. Pretty simple delivery.
Just a little turn and go. The foot lands, and then his arm is up in a good position.
Whew. Strikeout number 7. 101. Brad, what is being taught now? I mean, I know you work with a lot of young kids teaching pitching mechanics and whatnot, but in terms of a delivery, what is it?
So I think that, first of all, I mean, everybody's a little bit different, but from a generality, it's simplifying movements. Instead of having the big over the head, lots of moving parts, a lot of times, and you know, we talked a little bit about Andre Palante pitching all from the stretch last night, but there are a lot of guys that just start sideways, one small step, and then they come up. When you're teaching young kids that especially have a tough time with their delivery and repeating it, sometimes just taking out some unneeded movements is an important thing. And then once you learn to pitch like that, you're starting to pitch. You don't add in too many other things. The problem, though, oftentimes with that is everybody starts looking the same. Like, I think if you got somebody that has some different mechanics, does different things, don't try to change them. Don't try to turn them into a robot. Just make sure that they can repeat them.
The 2-0 pitch to Bader. That's what I found really interesting in watching Tampa Bay up close. The different looks,
I love it,
that they had coming out of their bullpen.
I would be, if I watched Tampa Bay, I'd be scouring my minor league system and say, all right, do I have a lefty that throws from 3/4? Do I have somebody that throws from a high 3/4? Do I got a righty that can do that? We got any side armors down there? I remember them in the World Series a couple of years ago. They showed it. They showed their pitching staff as a clock and arms coming all around the clock.
Right.
Like, how do you cover all of those things? Very smart organization. I think it's a good way to build a bullpen. You can't always do it. It's not going to work out perfectly. We should have an eye for different looks out there.
A couple of key at bats that may come back to help the Cardinals. 9-pitch at bat, Tommy Edman. 10-pitch at bat, Donovan. So 19 of the 88. You're going to get him out of here at some point. He's been awfully good, Hunter Green. From 3-0 to 3-2. And Bader hits a fly ball to Senzel in center. And that is put away. And a 1-2-3. We head to the 6th. Reds on top. History, Brad, being made.
Yeah, and we talked about it as this game was starting. You could just feel it as the two walked out of the bullpen together before the game. Everybody was on their feet. They were cheering for Yadier Molina, Adam Wainwright. Look at the numbers these two have put up together. It has been something special throughout the years. But it's fun when you talk to these guys. They don't want to talk about the history of it. They want to talk about right here, right now, every single day. They got more work to do.
Well, 7, 8, 9 here in the top of the 6th. Cardinals down 3-0. Moran is 2 for 2. He was swinging on the first pitch his previous plate appearance. And a double into the left field corner. He's also singled to right. The first baseman today with Votto as the DH. 0-2 the count. Pitch count at 85. Cardinals will have the top of their lineup. Edman, Gorman, and Goldschmidt coming up. No activity for the Reds in their bullpen. Shift on the right side. 0-2 the count. Arenado basically at the shortstop position. Pitch taken high, and it's 1-2.
You mentioned the extra day of rest for Adam Wainwright. Who knows if this goes very quickly here in the 6th, there is a potential to maybe see him out there for the 7th.
And a swing and a miss. Moran drops to a knee. Strikeout number 6. Waino has struck out the last 2 he's faced.
Your Plaza Tire Service pitch tracks just the curveball. 73 miles an hour, bounces this one in front of the plate. It's a great view at it right there. A lot of times you see somebody swing at the ball in the dirt and say, how could you swing at that? Well, look at that thing. That started up near above the belt of Colin Moran.
With that out, Yadi has caught 2,085 innings of Waino's career. 2,085. Most by a Cardinals battery. Gibson and McCarver were second. 1,871 innings and a third. That's just incredible. 2,085 innings.
It's
wow.
silly.
Now Moore is stepping out, and the 0-1 pitch popped up right side. Goldie over near the Redbird dugout, out of play. And it's 0-2. I like what you're thinking, though. With the extra day's rest, we know that Waino does like to go deep into games. Cardinals give him ample opportunity to do so. Now you got to think about the top of the lineup. Do you want him to face them a third time going into the potential of that 7th inning if you can have the 1-2-3 here?
Yeah, definitely a big decision, and maybe things change too depending on, do you score a couple of runs in the bottom half of the inning, and again how quickly he gets out of this one. Nice to have options, though, and it's nice to have a guy on the mound that you feel like, okay, it was in the mid to upper 90s. Can we send him back out there again? The answer is yes, if you want to.
The 1-2 pitch, and got him to reach. Backhanded by Edman. It's a simple play for Tommy Edman, but look at how he gets his body in a position to throw. So everything is in unison on a backhand, and again, routine play for a big leaguer, but just done to perfection.
No, I think it's a really good point. A lot of times you hear, especially at the youth level, get in front of it, get in front of it. Well, if you get in front of this ball, then you have to get your momentum shifted towards the base again. Maybe you're not able to get him. He plays right through the baseball on the backhand, and it is routine, but it makes it look clean.
Now Oki, and he pulls it foul. Hit by a pitch. Run scored back in the 3rd in his first ever major league start, and fly to left.
Talked about it earlier, that little bruise that he might end up having from the hit by pitch. That felt good. First time on base as a big leaguer in his first at bat.
Off the mound, and Donovan gets it before the short hop at a 1-2-3 inning. The top of the lineup coming up for St. Louis. Tommy Edman 0 for 2. Gorman 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. Goldie 0 for 2. Let's see if they can't change it. Reds on top is brought to you by BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better, and by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. The top of the St. Louis lineup against this young man, Hunter Green, who's allowed just 1 hit, no runs, struck out 7. The Cardinals do have some activity going now in their bullpen, at least stretching out there. Waino, his last 3 starts, he's thrown at least 100 pitches. one start was 115. So keep that in mind. And think about the top of the 7th as Tommy Edman looks at a strike.
Well, Hunter Green has picked up where he left off last outing. He went 7 innings scoreless against Arizona, and now run it to 12 scoreless innings. That game against Arizona, there was a leadoff bunt single against Green. Then he retired the next 20 batters straight. It just kind of tells you how dominant, not that we have to tell you now in the 6th inning, is you've been able to get one hit off of him, but this is the kind of stuff this young man has.
And a 1-1. So Tyler Stevenson, we were talking a little bit about this last night. I think would have been a rep for the Reds in the All-Star game. And I understand that the numbers won't look all that great for Hunter Green. Now, if we were back to this one counted, I want Hunter Green on my team.
Yeah, if you're picking a team.
Now, if I'm talking about, am I trying to showcase the great young talent and great players and no one else stands out for the Reds, I'm looking at Hunter Green.
What about
off a Green? Edman will pick up a base hit.
There you go. Get something going somehow, some way.
He got him on the left calf.
This is in an area that we talk about with Tommy Edman, that he sees the ball well. It's a fastball up in the zone, 100 miles an hour, just gets the barrel to it and just off the calf. Hunter Green looks like he's doing just fine after that one, but the Cardinals get something going. So you're talking about the young talent with Green. What about going the other way and going, again, it's a show for the fans.
Yeah.
What about Joey Votto? I know the numbers aren't there again. Recently, they're better. We've talked about that with Albert Pujols. I believe that Albert in his last year, and it's different for Votto because it's not his last year.
I think about it for sure. Yeah. Is Ryan Helsley an all-star?
Yes, for sure he is.
He's been amazing. Now, he's not a closer yet. He's had closing opportunities, but the numbers are pretty ridiculous in what he's been able to put together so far. 0-1 pitch to Nolan Gorman. Tommy Edman, 15 stolen bases on the year. But you're down by 3 here, and the big bat's coming up. I just always find it interesting. I think it's fun to talk about.
I do too.
You know,
again, your point. I mean, there's no clear-cut answer now with Stevenson out for the Reds.
I'd love to see Albert maybe in the home run derby.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And they 1-1. Gorman has struck out twice, both swinging. Last time up with a check swing. Most pitches thrown since May 15th was a 118 start for Green. He's only gone to 100 or beyond twice, and this is pitch number 98. Alexis Diaz getting loose in the pen. He has 6 or more strikeouts in 9 consecutive starts, and today's got 7. Oki, by the way, at AAA, if you're wondering about trying to steal, maybe getting something going, he was 2 for 25 in catching base stealers at Louisville. Off the plate, and it's 2-2.
Those 2 games over 100 pitches too for Hunter Green, back-to-back games. I mean, they were pushing it a little bit early with him. They backed off the workload a bit and going to press it a little bit more. As you mentioned before, this bullpen has had its troubles. They're trying to cling to a lead.
Foul back. So pitch number 100 was 99 at the top of the zone.
Right there too was a nice job by Nolan Gorman just to spoil that pitch. That was a pitch that he ended up punching out on in his first at bat. It was 98 up.
And the 2-2. Ouch. That hit him. And now the tying run will come to the plate. Looked like a slider that maybe got the back foot of Nolan Gorman.
That's exactly what it was. Just pulled this one across a little bit more. We've seen Nolan Gorman be susceptible to that pitch inside, but just gets way too far in there. Good to see him walk in there. I'm sure this one hurts.
Really interesting of you, David Bell, because you have a really good reliever in Alexis Diaz getting loose. But yet, this is also about learning. And now you're a little bit on the ropes. Maybe you're getting tired, and you got one of the best players. And you can make a case the MVP so far this season of the National League coming up, representing the tying run.
Yeah, well, I think that this would be an inning where if it were clean, you'd let him go and extend that a little bit. But Hunter Green, he did his job in this ball game. We'll see if the bullpen is going to allow it to stay that way, but pretty impressive by this young man.
So Diaz coming on to face Goldie, representing the tying run when we come back. Games prizes, free North Star frozen treats for the kids in the Ford Plaza, presented by Prairie Farm. Diaz last time out went 2 innings against Arizona a couple of days ago. No hits, no runs. Did hit a man, struck out 2, 31 pitches in that appearance. And now Alexis Diaz, the Chevy call to the pen. They really don't have a closer, and if you were going to lean towards a closer, you'd say, well, maybe it's this guy right here. And David Bell is saying, well, maybe the game's on the line right here.
I think it's a good call. He's been your most trusted reliever so far in 24 games. You bring him into the game's biggest spot with a couple of guys on and nobody out there.
Goldschmidt is struck out, fly to center. It was a base hit by Tommy Edman. Gorman hit by a pitch. And Goldie representing the tying run in the home half of the 6th. The first pitch. Ball 1.
Alexis Diaz jumps at you a little bit as he throws. He's got a fastball that runs up there, averages around 96. Also has that slider. That's it. He's a 2-pitch pitcher. But the 2 have been effective.
The 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trying to extend his on-base streak to 47, which would tie Keith Hernandez, who did that in 1982. Albert had a 48 gamer in 01. Vince Coleman 50 straight 1987. And the 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Shallow right. Almora under it. Big league pop-up right there in the first out. Nolan Arenado is doubled down the left field line, his 14th of the season in the 2nd inning, grounded out to short. Diaz has inherited 9 runners on the season, only 2 have scored. The Reds pen, ERA wise, 2nd from the bottom, the 2nd most walks issued, and the 9th highest batting average against. Collectively, for David Bell, they're trying to hold on for Hunter Green. And a ball outside. 1-0 on Nolan. Boy, you'd love to see just 1 run. Just get on the board and see what happens.
Yeah, it's been a couple of days of little offense. Talked about the 3 games in Tampa Bay, only 6 runs scored. Yesterday you were gifted a few.
2-0, Tyler O'Neill on deck.
Yeah, Hunter Green was really solid. You got to keep being relentless though in your approach. I love this count right here for Nolan Arenado. That sweeping slider that Diaz has, you can see him miss an arm side with that. We know what Nolan Arenado does to fastballs. He destroys them.
The 2-0 gets away, and runners advance to 2nd and 3rd. Overcooked a slider, and it's 3-0, and you know he's got the green light here. But now with first base open, does he even see a pitch to hit?
I got a feeling he's going to be incredibly careful with him if he's got the ability to do so here. I'd much rather be facing Tyler O'Neill in this spot. You don't want to put the winning run or the go-ahead run up to the plate in a situation, but you're going to try to make Nolan expand his zone a little bit, I would think.
And the 3-0 pitch to Nolan Arenado. Bases loaded for Tyler O'Neill. The right-handers against Diaz coming into play today. 4 for 45. That's an .089 average. This guy is tough on the righties. And now they want to talk it over with Tyler O'Neill coming up, and this crowd ready to explode here in St. Louis. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. All he can do is watch. It's out of his hands now, but Hunter Green strikes out 7, Brad, today.
A glimpse into the future right here. The fastballs, the strikeouts up in the zone, sliders throwing down, and I think it's a great way to see how he was attacking, even without the strikeouts. It was the four-seam up, it was the slider down. He was very effective throughout this ball game. But the Cardinals got themselves a chance right here with one of the most dangerous hitters in the league a year ago. 34 home runs, drove in 80, hit for power, hit for average. Time to get rolling here, and he's been solid since coming off of the IL.
Even with all the home runs, still does not have a grand slam. He could change that here. The first pitch to him. Outside, and it's ball 1. Brendan Donovan is on deck. Diaz has had 4 plate appearances against him with the bases loaded, and the opposition 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Can O'Neill come through? The 1-0 pitch. High fly ball into deep left center. Is it deep enough? It's caught at the top of the wall by Senzel. All 3 tag up. A run will score, and Tyler O'Neill was a foot away from a grand slam. He drives in his 24th, and a base hit could tie it. And you have Brendan Donovan coming up.
Talk about strong right here. This ball, Nick Senzel can't believe how far it is going. Just continues to drift back. Very good job by Senzel to end up finding the wall. See him feel for it. Good play.
The Reds wanted to talk about Tommy Edman maybe leaving early and appealing, but apparently not. So now it is 2 outs. Brendan Donovan, 10 pitch at bat, a walk in the second, struck out in this 4th inning. 2 outs, 2 on. Shift on the right side. And a strike to Donovan. Lefties hitting just 170 against Diaz. That's the 18th pitch that Brendan Donovan has seen today. The 0-1. Only Donovan and Juan Soto, the only 2 players in the National League with 18 or more walks and having more walks than strikeouts.
I've heard of that other guy.
Wow. 2 outs, and the 1-1 pitch to Donovan. 2 strikes, 1 and 2. Fastball up at 96.
You know this about Donovan. Again, he's going to continue to make Diaz work in this spot. He shortens up really well.
All he can do is watch. Hunter Green, the starter for the Reds today. And the 1-2 pitch to Donovan. 2-2. Diaz came in with runners at first and second, nobody out. Got Goldschmidt to fly to shallow right. Arenado was walked after the wild pitch. O'Neill with the bases loaded, a fly ball to center to pick up a run batted in. The 2-2 to Donovan. Here it comes. He stays alive. There aren't many that I'd want up outside of some of the big bats than this guy at the plate, because he makes you work.
He's going to spoil pitches. That's the thing. A lot of pitches that you see others swing through, he just gets a piece of. And the more times you do that, it's the more opportunities that the pitcher is going to end up making a mistake.
Pitch number 15 coming up of the inning. The next to Donovan. Fouled back.
And that's the pitch right there. You could absolutely see Brendan Donovan getting that fastball that leaks out over, shoots that thing into left field, and all of a sudden you got yourself a tie ball game.
This will be the 13th pitch he's seen today with 2 strikes. Gorman, your runner at third, can get way down the line. Ball gets away, he could score. The 2-2 again. Donovan hits it right side, but there's Reynolds, and he'll make the play. Cardinals get on the board. It's 3-1.
On the reports are that Jack Flaherty feels good after his second rehab start in Memphis last night. Jack threw 59 pitches, allowed just 1 hit, a solo homer. John Mozeliak says Jack will get another rehab start next week, a target around 90 pitches. Jack could return to the Cards after his next start, but Mozeliak told me, we haven't put a timetable on this, and it's worked. If he feels like he needs an additional start, we're open to that. We don't want to put our needs ahead of what's best for Jack. So, Danny, we'll just have to wait and see.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. Is Waino's still in there? 7th inning, top of the lineup, Senzel, Drury, and Pham. So Dylan Carlson shifting from right field to center. Bader is out. Juan Yepez in right field. And when we get the reason behind that, we'll pass it along. It would be odd for him just to be out of the game. So Bader was due up third, looking at the bottom of the 7th inning, and Juan Yepez now in that spot.
Well, when it comes to Jack Flaherty, how encouraging was that to watch that video of him last night? 4 innings, just he looks so good.
And Waino gets strikeout number 7. Senzel has struck out twice, and he's 0 for 4.
Had feel for that slider. We saw a bunch of those highlights down and into the lefties. Fastball looked like it had good ride on it. So if it looks like that next time out around 90 pitches, I'd almost be surprised to see him have another start down there. But it is. It goes back to how's he feeling? How's he recovering? Because know this about Jack. He wants back. Like he wants to be back now. But you got to make sure you check all the boxes.
There's Brandon Drury, and a breaking ball popped up into shallow right center. Carlson is there to make the catch. While we have a moment, quick word from BOS.
You're moving up in the world. You deserve a bank that can keep up with your changing needs. It's time to make the bold move. BOS. Bank boldly.
With 6 in a row after the base hit in the 5th by Farmer. And here's Tommy Pham with 2 outs and nobody on. Curveball and a strike. Well, if you know anything about Mo too, when he's asked about, well, when's this player going to return, or that player, it's never an answer in absolutes. Rarely. I mean, it's, well, we hope to get him back here. Here's what we're thinking because of what you were just talking about.
Well, I think you learn your lesson over the years too. When you speak in absolutes, you know something always pops up, right? So you let it happen on the player's own time, and when he's back, he'll be ready.
And it's 1-2. And how about Waino here? He had the rough 3rd inning, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, and that's the only time Cincinnati has scored. And he is 1 out away from giving you 7 again here today. Pitch number 101 on its way to Pham. The fly ball into right. Yepez over near the line, and did he make the catch? He did. Juan Yepez in an 8-pitch inning for Waino, and it's time to stretch in a 3-1 game, game 2 of this series. Telecast presented by Authority of the Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. It's the 21st time Adam Wainwright has given the Cardinals 7 or more innings since the start of last season. It's not supposed to be happening at this part of his career, the age. It's the most by any pitcher in Major League Baseball over that span. Incredible.
Something special. It is Luis Cessa, your Chevy call to the bullpen. He's had a couple of days rest. Ended up giving up a few runs last time out against the Diamondbacks. We got a little bit more of that in this one. Cardinal offense hard to come by. Tyler O'Neill had the sacrifice fly. Finally got the Birds on the board, but only 2 hits so far in this ball game.
And it's Luis Cessa, third pitcher for the Reds today. Green went 5+. Diaz through the 6th. And now it is Cessa. Carlson, Molina, Yepez. It's the Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Cessa has had a tough time of it here recently. His last 7 appearances, ERA of 10.5. His last time out 3 days ago, inning and a third, 3 hits, 2 earned, gave up a couple of home runs and 35 pitches. It has not gone well. Last 10 appearances, if you want to take it even further, 10 earned. So this might be the time to strike. As Carlson showed bunt, third baseman Drury was back.
I don't hate that idea at all. Somehow, some way, right? Get guys on, get them over, get them in, manufacture a little bit. Now you find yourself in a good count.
2 balls, 1 strike. Dillon is flying to left, fly to right, 0 for 2. Cardinals with just 2 hits today. Hits it up the middle. Diving stop Reynolds. And no chance to get him as Carlson barrels into Votto, who is down. Excuse me, that is Moran who is down. The collision at first base, and now David Bell and the medical team of the Reds coming out to check on Colin Moran. Looked like the legs may have gotten tangled up on that play. And Carlson, they're going to check on him. Great stop here by Reynolds. And then up the line, and the legs, yeah, they get tangled up a little bit as Carlson collides with Moran. The ball, by the way, did go into the dugout, so it'll be a base hit and an E4 on the play, and it was errors that led to Cardinal runs last night.
That's going to be it for Colin Moran. That's just jarring on a play like that. Dylan Carlson coming in full speed and ends up hitting you. Good to see Dylan appears to be okay as he's talking it over with Chris Conroy.
A little blood there on the chin. See it maybe got the back of the head of Moran as they collided. The ball went into the dugout. So Chris Conroy there on the right. There's a really good job, many years in the minor leagues with the Cardinals, and now here at the major leagues. And one of the great people in this organization that we enjoy being around. So he'll tend to Dylan Carlson. And Moran has had issues with concussions too, so I'm sure they're going to be overly cautious with him. And Carlson gets the bag at second. Coming up, it'll be Yadier Molina, and some changes coming up here for the Reds defensively. So Drury, that's Brandon Drury. He went and got a first baseman's mitt. He'll go to first. Moran is out.
Reynolds goes from second base to third base. Brandon Drury moves from third base to first base.
Okay, so here are the changes. Drury going from third to first. Matt Reynolds, second baseman, going to third base, and then off the bench, the switch hitter Alejo Lopez takes over at second. And so a runner at second, and Yadier Molina, he is 0 for 2, represents the tying run. Molina hits it up the middle. He was stabbed at by Alejo, and the ball will find you. I think he was anticipating that hitting the second base bag. Don't miss your chance to get discounted Cardinal tickets, 8 or more gallons of gas at a participating station using the My Phillips 66 app. Get up to 50% off Cardinals tickets. Visit phillips66gas.com/Cardinals. And the Reds are going to bring the infield in, up by 2 here in the bottom of the 7th, and a runner at 3rd.
Interesting.
It really is. Open up some hitting lanes here for Yepez, who could tie the game. So Yepez, first plate appearances, he has come in for Bader, had to leave the ball game. We don't know why. In the 9th position in the lineup, and Tommy Edman on deck. No activity in the Reds bullpen for the Cardinals. Drew Verhagen, and a count of no balls and a strike on Yepez. The 0-1. Nothing in 2. It is interesting. I mean, you're up by 2 and bring the infield in. I mean, you could have the possibility of more runs scoring. Now you can take one away too, but it's risky.
Well, I think that you have a bullpen that has struggled, as you mentioned earlier. You had Sessa's numbers too. You're trying to limit anything that you can. It's the only thing that makes sense.
And the 0-2 bounced, and Carlson back to the bag at 3rd. Good play by Oki to keep it in front. Hit the spin, and it hits the dirt. You're not sure where that's going to go.
Yeah, you know, it always checks up, so you got to do a good job of getting the body in front. He kind of lucks out. That hits right off his shoulder, but doesn't kick off far.
And the 1-2 pitch to Juan Yepez. I would have to think that they're using PitchCom in the minor leagues, with Oki making his first ever major league start, but just to be somewhat familiar with it, understand how it works, and a familiarity with it.
Yeah, certainly. I was just thinking about that, how different it must be for some of these catchers. You got the earpiece, you got different stuff that you're having to deal with and think through. They're not using it here.
And the 2-2 pitch, grounded foul. So Green 5+, pitched into the 6th inning. There was a base hit by Tommy Edman. Then he hit Gorman, and with Goldie coming up, they went to Diaz with 2 on and nobody out, and now Sessa. The 2-2. Tough take at a full count. Albert encouraging the young Juan Yepez. He's got 4 home runs this year. There's Bader. He's on the bench, so that's good to see him at least there.
Yeah, it is curious what ended up popping up for him. He's the guy you definitely want out in the outfield in a tight ball game. Opposition hitting .524 against Sessa with runners in scoring position. 11 for 21. The right-handers overall .294 against him. And a 3-2 pitch. Good at bat. Juan Yepez battles back, draws the walk. The Cardinals have received 4 walks today. And the first by Sessa, now Tommy Edman. Roll the lineup over, and let's see what the Cardinals can do. Verhagen getting loose. If you're trailing, and now Genesis Cabrera joins him, you tie this up or take the lead, you probably go to the lefty. We'll see. Edman, the infield hit, and a run scored back in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. Corners are in. They hold it first. And the first pitch to Tommy, taken for a ball. And they start to scurry quickly in the bullpen to get loose for the Reds. The 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nolan Gorman on deck. Hunter Strickland, hard throwing right-hander, starting to get loose in the bullpen for Cincinnati. Has not been a great year for Hunter Strickland either, coming in with an ERA north of 6. This is your time. Got a chance to take advantage of it. Green was tough. Can they continue to get to this bullpen?
And the 1-1 hit up the middle, and a rare double play that Tommy Edman hits into. Farmer over to Drury, and the double play. The threat is through. We head to the 8th. Reds on top. Game, and it's back in the 3rd. Tommy Pham with a double on a hanging breaking ball off of Waino that scored 2, and then Pham was driven in later in the inning, and those are the 3 runs scored by Cincinnati today.
Yeah, just a couple mistakes in that 3rd inning by Adam Wainwright. Left a few breaking balls elevated, and the Reds took advantage of it. Cardinals haven't been able to get anything going offensively in this ball club. Drew Verhagen, the Chevy, called to the bullpen, working on a couple of days of rest here. We last saw him against Tampa Bay, and unfortunate changeup that hung up there. It was the rookie Taylor Walls that hit it for a walk-off home run. You know that Drew Verhagen has been waiting to get into another ball game.
Pitched in the 10th inning of that game, so he had the runner at second. He walked Paredes. Then the Cardinals got the amazing play by Arenado that night, as it went 5-6 on the fielder's choice. He got the next man, Diaz, who was a pinch hitter. He popped out and then had 2 strikes on Taylor Walls, who hit his 3rd home run of the season down the right field line, and that was all she wrote. So Verhagen gets the 8th inning for St. Louis after 7 innings, 3 runs, 8 hits allowed by Adam Wainwright. Strikes out 7 and walks 1 in the game. And we said it, and we say it, it seems like every 5th day when he's on the mound. He's going to give you a chance to win, and he's done that again today.
No matter what inning looks like, you know, that 3rd inning gets a little rocky. You look up, he's in the 7th again. Just doesn't let things snowball. And I think that's the difference between a guy that has been around for a long time and maybe a young guy. You have a bad inning, the young guy comes out the next inning, tries to press and try to do more. Adam Wainwright pulls back a little bit and just makes sure he executes pitches.
Votto, Farmer, and Reynolds. From the outfield grass, Donovan, and the first out. While we have a moment, quick word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less, for a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
3 of the 8 hits against Wainwright from Kyle Farmer. Single to center first time up on an 0-2 pitch, base hit that brought in Tommy Pham, and a single to center again. 1 out, nobody on, and the first pitch taken inside. Right-handers hitting just .206 against Verhagen, and the lefties a .286 clip. And the 1-1 pitch by Verhagen. Whacked out to left. O'Neill won't get there. Gets it on a hop, and it's a 4-hit day for Kyle Farmer. 4 singles.
It's that changeup again from Drew Verhagen. This one center cut, middle.
So when you see the home run and then you see this, how tentative do all of a sudden, you know, with a pitcher that has 2 hard hit balls, one very costly down the right field line, cost him the game. How skittish do you get in terms of going back to that pitch?
I think that you just have to really focus, especially on that pitch. If you're going to miss, you have to miss down. So I'd rather see him spike that pitch than leave it there.
Now Reynolds in a good breaking ball. He's got that. The spin rate, by the way, for Verhagen, at times the curveball is better than Waino's. It's a really good pitch. Cardinals turn to double play off the bat of Reynolds back in the 2nd inning. They've got a shift here on the left side. Short lead at first. And St. Louis in the bottom half of this inning will have Gorman, Goldschmidt, Arenado coming up. Taken high, and it's 1-1. Cincinnati has grounded into 46 double plays, 5th most in all of baseball. Cardinals have turned now 52 with another back in the second, 3rd most in baseball. Farmer, his 3rd 4-hit game of the season, and he's at first base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outfield is straight away. And now time called after the long look by Verhagen into Yadier Molina.
Just think about how different it is with this pitch comm right now. As a pitcher, you're so used to just looking in for a sign. You're still looking in, no signs coming until it's actually in your ear. Just totally different look than you've ever had before.
No doubt. The 1-2 lined and over Donovan into center. And stopping at second, it'll be Farmer. Runners at first and second. Ball was blistered off the bat of Reynolds. And it's the switch hitter Lopez in what would have been Moran's spot.
Fastball tailing down and in, looking to get it away. This ball is hit hard, 104 miles an hour off the bat. That's a couple of hard hit baseballs in a row.
Runners at first and second, and the breaking ball in the dirt. Some way, somehow, have to keep this a 2-run deficit. That was a tough pill to swallow for the Cardinals. That double play off the bat of Edman. Really, that's the last thing I'm thinking about with his speed.
No, and that's about the only spot that he can hit that ball that's going to happen.
The 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. A ball and a strike on Lopez. And a base hit into right. Charging Juan Yepes. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate. Cut off by Goldie. Runner advances to third, and it's now a 4-1 Cincinnati lead. Farmer scores. Reynolds goes from first to third. And the base hit for Lopez.
Alejo Lopez, it's a changeup. It's down and away. It's not that bad of a pitch right here. He just hooks this thing into right field.
No chance to get the runner at the plate. Cut off by Goldie, and good base running by Matt Reynolds to wind up at third. Infield is in, and that pitch up and in to Albert Almora Jr. He struck out looking, twice grounded out to short. And it's now a 4-1 Cincinnati lead. Outfield shallow and straight away. Well, you talk about the big three: Cabrera, Helsley, Gallegos. Who else can emerge in this bullpen with Palante now in your rotation as the ball gets away on a pickoff, but not far enough for Reynolds to score?
It's one of the biggest questions this ball club has, and it's something that Ollie Marmol has talked about. Is say, hey, we need other guys to be able to step up. Can't continue to go to those guys. I mean, you can go out there and you can use them, but you might not end up having them for later if you overuse that group. So somebody needs to be able to step up.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Bunted in the air. Verhagen able to catch it. Goldie was charging, so was Arenado, so no one at the bag at either first or third. And Almora gift wraps a out to the Cardinals.
Yeah, not sure he needed to do that, but thankful that he did.
Yeah, that's one of those times I'm not really on the same page with it.
Yeah, we're all for some small ball, but it's smart. Well, let's see if Drew Verhagen can take advantage of this here.
So 2 outs and runners at the corners. Runner goes. No throw by Yachty. That'll be a stolen base for Lopez. And even if Yachty wanted to throw, there was no chance.
It's a good jump right there off of Verhagen. And Lopez can move.
That's his second stolen base this year. Two balls and no strikes. You've got the catcher that's making his major league debut. Oki on deck, first base open. Friedel, Garcia, Aquino on the bench. And it's 2-1. So Oki here. And then you have Sinzel. Got to get this guy. It's been hit by a pitch, a run scored. He flied to left and also grounded out to second.
You just got to give yourself a chance in this game. Offensively, you haven't been able to come alive. But it's a backbreaker if this guy serves one into the outfield. 2 more runs come in. That feels insurmountable.
And a fly ball hit down the right field line. And it slices foul out of play. Hunter Strickland looks like he'll enter the ball game for the Reds. Continues to throw in their bullpen. 2-2 the count with 2 outs and 2 on. The next to Chris Oki. Got him. And a strikeout for Verhagen, his first of the afternoon. Reds add to their lead midway through 8. Move to the home half of the 8th. Cardinals with just 3 hits today. And a 4th pitcher used by David Bell will be Hunter Strickland. He'll have the 8th. Green, the starter, went 5+. Struck out 7, walked 2, hit a man, gave up 1 run, 2 hits. Diaz came on with 2 runners aboard and nobody out in the 6th. Walked a man. Scoreless inning. Sessa, the key double play off the bat of Tommy Edman with runners at first and third to get out of a jam. So he came away unscathed, and now it's Hunter Strickland here for the 8th inning. Still 6 outs to go against a beleaguered bullpen of the Reds, so buckle up.
Well, you know how it's felt here recently offensively. When I say recently, the 3 games in Tampa Bay, last night so far today. You also know how rough it's been for this bullpen and the potential that is in this lineup. You got 2, 3, 4 coming up. You can do some damage right here, right now.
So 3 days ago, Hunter Strickland had an inning against Arizona. Gave up a couple of hits, but walked 2 in that game. Righties 250, the lefties 290 against him. Nolan Gorman is hitless, 0 for 2, and was hit by a pitch back in the 6th inning. And the first pitch to him with a shift on the right side. Since May 14th, 8 games. 7 innings, 5 runs allowed by Strickland. So they're leaning on Sessa and Strickland and guys that have been struggling a little bit here as of late. And the 0-1 pitch to Nolan Gorman. Nothing in 2. Goldschmidt on deck, and then Arenado. Cardinals left on their bench. Pujols, Kisner, And Sosa, the exaggerated shift on the infield with 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch, Strickland to Nolan Gorman. And he hits it down the right field line. It is foul. Once again, a reminder, beginning on Monday night, $7 tickets available with the Pirates here in town. Ooh, just foul.
Pretty close right there. Nolan Gorman's got some fast hands, doesn't he?
Yes.
We've seen him be able to catch up to heaters up in the zone, really pull the hands in on the fastball and the slider in.
And an 0-2 pitch to Gorman. If you just joined us, Paul Goldschmidt, who's on deck trying to reach base 47 consecutive games, is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. One ball and 2 strikes. Nick Whitgren throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. And the 1-2. 2-2. Milwaukee early on, bottom of the 3rd, leading Washington 1-0, and a half game out of first place behind St. Louis at the start of play today. The 2-2 pitch. He was hit earlier in the game, and now he works the count full, and he's hit again. Apparently that did get him. So Gorman apparently hit by the pitch for the 2nd time in this game.
Well, at 96, you'll take the glancing blow. Doesn't look much worse for the wear on this one, but right above the knee, this one just catches him.
Oh, yeah. And it brings in Paul Goldschmidt. Boy, there's some pitchers that are going to have to adjust quickly at the beginning of next season with the pitch clock, and this is one of them too, and Hunter Strickland. Either adapt or you're going to be out of the league.
I would agree. You look at the way that things are trending, and you mentioned it before. Some guys are coming up from the minor leagues. They're working fast. The hope is that they continue to do that as opposed to revert back to the big league. Everybody takes their time here.
The 0-1 pitch to Goldie. 1 ball and 1 strike. Struck out swinging in the 1st inning, in which Hunter Green struck out the side. Flied to center in the 4th, and against Diaz with 2 runners on, flied to right. Hitless today. One and 2 the count. Can Goldie extend the on base streak to 47? Nolan Arenado on deck. Goldie is 5 for 18, double, couple of home runs against Strickland. The 1-2 pitch from the Reds right-hander. Pulled. That is foul. Wow. Well, I thought that was fair.
Had a couple of balls on both sides that were close. Gorman hit one down the right field line. This one Goldie turns on. Just foul.
And that, if you're wondering, not reviewable until it gets past the 3rd base umpire, Tom Hallion, the crew chief. And a 1-2 pitch to Goldie. Breaks his bat, soft liner hit to short, and he's hitless today. The batter would be Nolan Arenado, a double down the left field line, grounded out to short, and then walked with 2 runners on in the 6th inning. That loaded up the bases for Tyler O'Neill. He hit one to deep center, about a foot, maybe foot and a half away from a grand slam. It was caught. Tyler brought in his 24th, and that is accounted for the only run today. Fastball at a strike.
That's the only RBI in this series. Again, going back to yesterday in the 1st inning, it was a couple of errors. It was Aquino, it was Drury. That was your scoring.
Arenado, head-to-head with Strickland, is just 2 for 15 with a double. And the 0-1 pitch coming up to Nolan Arenado. And it's a ball and a strike. Big gap in left center. Nolan Gorman, your runner at first base. O'Neill on deck. And the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. So the Reds got 3 in the 3rd and another in the 8th. The Cardinals run came in the 6th. Reds about hit the Cardinals today 11-3. Reds have stranded 8, the Cardinals 6. Room on the infield to go to right. Sometimes Arenado will do that. Saw that earlier this season. Playing to pull on the infield. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
This crowd here at Busch Stadium just waiting for that big hit to get on their feet. Been way too quiet today.
And the 2-2. Full count. 2021, Strickland bounced around. Rays, Angels, we saw him finish up with the Brewers last year. Pitched effectively with Milwaukee. 3-2. Nolan Gorman at first. And the next to Arenado. And a little floater into center, base hit. And once again, the tying run will come to the plate. And it's Tyler O'Neill and a 2-hit day for Nolan Arenado, on base for the 3rd time.
This is a pretty good slider right here by Hunter Strickland. It's down, it's away, it's in the perfect spot, but Nolan keeps the head down on it, stays through it, and just catches it right off the end of the bat, able to lay it out in the outfield.
Well, head-to-head, O'Neill 0 for 3 against Strickland with a strikeout. He is walked. He picked up a sac fly, an RBI. His 24th, back in the 6th. A check swing in the foul ball. So Tyler O'Neill representing the tying run here. Just 3 home runs thus far this year. And a home run the series against Tampa. Big gap in left center. Kuno, the right-hander, throwing in the bullpen for Cincinnati. And backs up, but take it for a ball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cardinals 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position today. 1 for 9 in the series. O'Neill could change that in a hurry. And the 1-1 pitch to Tyler O'Neill. O'Neill, base hit into left center. A run will score. Arenado to 3rd. He'll be waved in. And 2 runs will score. Tyler O'Neill has driven in all 3 today, and it's a 1-run game here in the home half of the 8th.
The crowd has woken up here at Busch thanks to Tyler O'Neill. What a job by O'Neill here. The thought in that situation, you could try to get big, try to crush something. This pitch is 95. It's away. He stays back, and look how controlled his body and his swing is on this one. He's not trying to hit a home run. He's trying to get barreled to the ball. That's 106 miles an hour off the bat. Shoots it in the gap.
The tying run at second base. The go-ahead run coming to the plate. And David Bell going out to the mound. We saw Kuno pitch last night. And that'll be it. Brendan Donovan coming up. And the speed of O'Neill at second base in a 1-run game. The starter pitched into the 6th, did not record an out. He was impressive. Kyle Farmer, 4-hit day. Waino, 7 innings, 8 hits. Cardinals trying to take him off the hook. O'Neill is driven in all 3. We saw Kuno last night. 10 pitches in the 8th inning. Arenado, O'Neill, Donovan, and it was 1-2-3. He struck out 2. You got Donovan swinging in that 8th inning. And now Brendan Donovan could tie it up.
I feel like in this spot, it's an advantage to have seen this guy yesterday. Know what he's working with.
And the first pitch taken inside. Donovan has seen a ton of pitches today. 10 pitch at bat, a walk. He struck out and then grounded out sharply to second with 2 runners on. The 1-0 pitch to Donovan. A pickoff. O'Neill is out. He thought he had it read, and instead he runs into an out, representing the tying run in scoring position. Oh, goodness.
I mean, that is a spot where you have to be sure that you have the beat on it. You know, with his speed, he's scoring on a single anyhow. There's 2 outs. At this point, it's tough.
It can't happen. Simply put, it cannot happen. Not at this stage in the game. So 2 outs now, 1 ball, 1 strike. And a 1-2 pitch to Donovan. Dylan Carlson on deck. Wow. And the 2-2. Donovan lines it into center. Cardinals pick up a pair, and it's a 4-3 game. Seven innings from Wainwright, gave up 3 runs. Verhagen, a run given up in the 8th, and now Nick Wickren, our Chevy, called to the pen.
He pulled it within 1. Disappointing how it went down with O'Neill getting picked off right there. Thought he had a beat, obviously did not, but you're within 1 right now. We've been talking about who's going to bridge the gap, who's going to give you some of these innings, who's going to keep it close. Nick Wickren with an opportunity right here. Keep this here. Maybe we get a little walk-off magic.
So Wickren will face the top of the Reds lineup. Senzel, Drury, and Pham. Senzel, a tough day, 0 for 4, couple of strikeouts. Cardinals have been out hit 11-5 and trailed by a run here in the top of the 9th. And the first pitch is strike. 25th appearance for Whitgren. 3 days ago, appeared in the ball game at Tampa Bay, went an inning, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned, and walked a man. Strikeouts have been much lower this year from Whitgren from what we saw a year ago. In particular, when you're thinking about facing the right-handed batters.
I don't need the strikeouts if I can get weak contact, especially with this defense.
And a 2-1 pitch to Nick Senzel. 3-1. Cardinals will have Carlson, Molina, Yepez due up. On the bench, Pujols, Kisner, and Sosa. And no activity for the Reds in their bullpen.
And what you can't have is a leadoff walk. And we got to compete within the zone here. Make him beat you.
And the 3-1 pitch. Senzel with a fly ball into shallow right. Juan Yepez there to make the catch. Well, Albert, I guess that's his version of the rally cap.
I think it's going to work. I got a good feeling about that. Hurts his head, though. Worth it for the team, though. He'll do it for you.
Hey, I'm not arguing with it. Go right ahead, Albert. You do whatever you want.
That guy can start any style he wants in this town.
That's right.
All the kids are already doing it.
Just saw a bunch of people turning their hat sideways like Albert there.
That's what Albert says. We're in.
And a strike to Drury. He has walked, doubled, and scored. Grounded out to second, flying to center. And an 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Tony Santillan just grabbed a baseball and starts to throw in the bullpen for Cincinnati. Drury's never faced Whitgren. And the 1-1 pitch, shift on the left side, and it's a strike. 1-2. Tommy Pham on deck is 2 for 3 head-to-head against Whitgren with a home run. Keep that in mind. A ball and 2 strikes. Brandon Drury. Washington has come back. They have a 4-1 lead against Milwaukee in the 4th. Pulled to third, and there's Arenado. Some guys, it takes very few pitches to get loose in the bullpen. And Santillan is not even on the mound. Now he just got there. That'll be his first pitch. It's more of like a step and throw. Some guys are quick to get loose and use those pitches when they get out on the mound between the white lines. But fine line on how you do it.
Yeah, you got to know yourself. And you don't want to waste too many bullets out there. End up sitting out there wasting your best stuff. So Santillan must know himself very well and what it takes for him to get ready. It could be 1 pitch away right now from getting in this game.
0-2. And an 0-2 pitch to Tommy Pham. Just off the plate. Pham today, fly to center, doubled out to left in the 3rd. That brought in 2, and twice he has flied out to right. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tommy Pham. Up the middle, diving stop. Oh, what a play there by Donovan. And the fans applaud the effort from Brendan Donovan. What a play. Winds up being an infield hit for Tommy Edman in his 2nd hit.
That's a heck of a stab right there by Brendan Donovan. This ball scorched up the middle. I don't know how that didn't end up hitting Nick Whitgren.
Just a baseball player wherever you put him.
That's it.
Fun to watch.
Guaranteed to have dirt on his uniform at the end of a game.
Probably at the end of the first inning.
Yeah.
Joey Votto now with 2 outs and a runner at first base. He is 1 for 4 today. Struck out twice against Waino. And then singled off the glove of Paul Goldschmidt on an 0-2 pitch in the 5th. Rounded out against Drew Verhagen in the 8th. There's the defensive alignment with Donovan in shallow right, the second baseman. 2 outs, runner at first. First pitch taken inside for a ball. Wainwright, 7 innings, 3 runs on 8 hits, struck out 7, walked 1. Cardinals would love to take him off the hook. One 0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. Votto 1 for 6 with a double and a walk against Nick Wickren. This is one of those defensive alignments that if Joey Votto wanted to bunt, it's a base hit. Arenado has moved basically to deep short. 2-0 pitch and a ground ball. Let's see if the Cardinals have a comeback in them. We head to the bottom of the 9th, game 2 in a 1-run game. Green.
If you're a Reds fan, this is what you're looking at. This is the future. This is going to be the guy that is the ace of the staff for quite some time. The fastball was electric from Hunter Green. His slider, I mean, that thing right there looks like the heat coming out of the hand. It dives off the table, ties up lefties and righties with it. 101 pitches, punched out 7. Impressive. And so far the bullpen has been able to keep it up.
And the first pitch to Dylan Carlson. Kuno was able to come in, get the line out off the bat of Donovan after the pickoff. The 1-0 fouled back. Carlson, 2 home runs this year. He's flied to left, flied to right, and a base hit in the 7th inning, which he collided with Colin Moran on a play at first, but then he stayed in the game. Carlson did. They tended to his chin. He had a little blood there, and Moran had to leave. 1-2 the count. Cardinals down by a run in the bottom of the 9th. Molina on deck, and then Juan Yepez. The 1-2. 2-2. Santillan is standing on the mound in the bullpen of the Reds. Deep breath by Dylan Carlson as he digs back in. The 2-2. Full count.
Kuno really getting under that slider right there. Just served it up there. That could end up being dangerous now. 3-2 count. The old adage, you're going to throw a 2-2, throw a 3-2. I don't know with a miss that bad if I'd want to go back to it if I were Kuno.
3-2 pitch to Carlson. Stays alive. Another 3-2 pitch. The tying run is aboard here in the bottom of the 9th. The winning run will come to the plate. Cardinals have received 5 walks today. Molina is hitless today. Fly to left. Struck out. Grounded out to second. The day in which Yachty and Waino moved into second all-time battery mates in a historic day. Molina hits it left side, could be 2 out there. The turn, double play. Crowd of 43,832 here today. 4-3-8-3-2. Cardinals bounce into their second double play of the ball game, and it's up to Juan Yepez.
That 43,832 were loud for a second, and all it took was one pitch to quiet it down again.
Yepez came in the 7th inning, took over in right field. Cardinals shifted Carlson from right to center, Bader out, and so Juan in his spot, and he walked back in the 7th. And the first pitch is strike. Cardinals down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th. The 0-1. Trying to extend the ball game to Tommy Edman.
You know that pretty much everybody in a Reds uniform still does not feel comfortable about the spot they're in. They've seen it too many times. Just showing the graphic of how many blown saves this team has had.
2-1. Most recent just a couple of days ago against Arizona. They imploded in the 9th inning of that ball game. The 2-1 pitch. Yepez base hit into right. On base for the second time, and the game continues. Tommy Edman coming to the plate. Walk, and then the double play off the bat of Molina. And the tying run now, Yepez, because of this base hit.
95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's up and away. And Juan Yepez, we've seen him do this. Does a really good job of just going that way with the baseball. Wide open right side, pitches that way. Take advantage.
Sosa will pinch run for Yepez here in this 9th inning. So Tommy Edman is struck out, fly to right. And a base hit, run scored in the 6th, and a costly double play off his bat. 2 outs, runner at first, and they throw it away. Yepez on his way to second, and he is in scoring position. The errors cost the Reds last night, and Sosa, pinch running for Yepez, winds up at second base.
Just airmail right here by Kunal. Sosa comes in off the bench. Yes, he's got good speed, but the task at hand is standing at the plate. He got 2 outs. Worried about the wrong things right there. You know that David Bell is going nuts. He's seen it too many times with these guys. He's sticking with Kunal for this one.
Base hit could tie it. 2 outs. Sosa, the runner at second base. And the first pitch of ball as Nolan Gorman is on deck. The 9th inning of ball games, Tommy Edman hitting .400.
You were talking a little bit yesterday about how effective he's been against relievers. This guy's relentless.
The 1-0 pitch to Tommy. 2 balls, no strikes. Would they feel better going after the rookie on deck?
I'm not sure if I would. The power potential that he's got.
2-0 pitch to Tommy. 2-1.
Kind of wondering why Santillan is still throwing out there. If you're not going to end up going to him at this point, you're going to wait for it to be a tie ball game.
Count of 2 balls, 1 strike. Tommy Edman. He's driven in 23 on the year. The next, instead of check on Sosa. It worked one time. Why not try it again?
I would have gone back to the well for sure. It's like, man, my inside move must be good.
Yeah. The 2-1. Edman with a drive out to deep right. It is gone. It's a walk-off. The Cardinals were down to their final out, and they win it off the bat of Tommy Edman. Home run number 6. The Birds walk it off. That's why I thought maybe you go to the rookie. This guy is clutch.
How about that? Tommy Edman drops the head on it. Big win for the Cardinals. They couldn't get anything going against Hunter Green early on. He gets himself a breaking ball down. You see Kunal almost drop to a knee as soon as it's hit. Bullpen goes crazy. Busch Stadium goes crazy. What a victory. Comeback win for the Birds.
Win number 34 for St. Louis. They've now won this series, and they'll go for a sweep tomorrow. Thanks to Tommy Edman, who's standing by with Jimmy. Jim.
Tommy gets a 2-1 pitch, drives it over the outfield wall for a 2-run walk-off homer. Take us through that at-bat.
Yeah, just a little out of breath right now. Sorry. I was just trying to get something up, a little bit more up. I know he was trying to get me to chase down, so fortunately he hung one right there.
You feast on relief pitching. Why is that? Your numbers against relief pitchers are crazy. What is it about that that makes you lock in?
Might be the situation, I think. I don't know. I think I generally try to do a good job of preparing and knowing what a pitcher's got and how he's going to attack me before I get up there. And it's no different between the starters and relievers because some of the biggest at-bats might be late in the game like that.
How about the job by Yepez getting on base, going the other way to make sure that the tying run was on base for you?
Yeah, awesome job by him. I mean, great at-bat just to get that tying run on. And I think we did a good job of fighting all day. Waino especially out there on the mound keeping us in the game, and our bullpen doing a good job too. So just everybody did a good job today to keep us going.
Last thing about Waino, had some trouble early on, but he always seems to make adjustments and keep you guys in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's why he's been pitching for as long as he has. You know, he does a great job of mixing, keeping guys off balance, and just competing out there every time.
Congratulations. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
All right, Danny, Tommy Edman.
His first ever walk-off homer, first ever walk-off run batted in, Tommy Edman.
What a victory. What a swing for the Cardinals in a game that you just needed to win. Waino keeps you in it, and Tommy puts the nail in the coffin of the Reds.
What a win for St. Louis. They battled all afternoon. Plenty of post-game coverage coming up. The Birds walk it off, and they win it.